the fine people at Allegiant Airlines sent a text saying that the flight has been delayed to 8:45 the next morning.
Oh, gosh.
Hello, St. Louis!
Does Allegiant fly to Indianapolis? Do they have a hub in?
Doug, I know you track.
Well, they must if that's where they were going to change the
Maybe
flight
that's why
to.
they went there, because they don't have a lot of hubs. They don't go all over the place.
No.
So the issue then is, we didn't drive to that airport, which I think is about 50 minutes from our home. And so I'm sitting there, and what the hell do we do? Do we get a hotel? Do I take an Uber? So we take an Uber. It was about $80, $90 back home to get two kids to bed and, get home at 11:30 or so. And then turn around and then get up at, I guess, 5:30 in the morning. Probably wouldn't be
fun stuff.
God, what a great ending.
So we switch airlines, go with Southwest, and fly down there. So goes. Weather-related event. I believe whatever happened, they didn't fly. So I didn't say anything about it on the air. Certainly not on social media, where I'm essentially retired. Although I had a wonderful conversation on the fan page on Saturday night, Doug. I did. I had time to talk since we ran into another delay on Saturday, and this also with Allegiant. We're flying out of Savannah, and I believe the flight was scheduled for 2:30. Get to the airport at 12:30. Savannah Airport's a great airport for those of you that are ever looking to fly in the southeast. And at around 2, they said that flight had some mechanical issues. They're working on it. They'll have an update in 7 minutes. Thought that was odd, but I like that.
7
minutes on the 7th.
Okay, sure.
On the 7th.
I like that.
And 7 minutes later, she said, mechanic's still working on it. They switched gates, whatever. It's now 3:15. And at 3:15, people started lining up. So I'm like, I told my older son, I said, let's get in line and we'll get on the plane. We'll be back in St. Louis here in a couple hours. Plus, we get an hour back going from Eastern to Central Time. And at that point, the lady announced that flight was now canceled. So, tough spot because Allegiant doesn't have multiple airlines, as Iggy was pointing out, or multiple flights, and so you're just stuck. And so I then get on the Southwest app right away and was fortunate enough to be able to book a flight at 6:20 out of Savannah that took us through Chicago and got us back to St. Louis. I think we landed around 11.
Yeah.
So the Allegiant experience that I raved about last year, in fairness, if we have a negative experience, I'm obligated to share that with the audience.
Yeah.
Everybody has been through this kind of stuff, especially if you've had children and you travel. It makes it more compounded, but I raved about Allegiant. I don't think it was Savannah's airport, and I don't think it was the airport Mid-America in Belleville, Muscuda, but it will give us pause before going with Allegiant again.
Well, that's the thing about airline travel is there are so many variables that nobody can control. Just because you want to fly somewhere, there could be weather 1,000 miles away, so you can't go. Or a pilot didn't show up, or they're short-staffed, or there's one tiny mechanical problem with the air. There's just 1,000 things that can go wrong that can gum up the whole system.
It used to be when I would go to Sanford in Allegiant, they only went to 2 cities at the time, Sanford and Vegas. Only 2 cities they went to.
And Sanford's by Orlando?
Yeah, it's actually easier for me because
what in the world would you have been doing in Orlando?
My sister lives in Sanford.
Oh, that's right.
So it's easier because
Friendly confines.
Jinx Coke.
We fly right into Sanford where she lives, so 2 minutes from her house, whereas Orlando International is like 45 minutes. But they only had 2 cities they went to. Now they're adding all these cities, so when you add cities, more planes, the chances of something breaking down or having delays is much greater.
Or more weather somewhere.
Yeah. If you get back home from a trip after 8 p.m. the night before, don't you automatically get the next day off? That's from Gummy.
Seems like you should.
Probably a shot at me, sweet.
Oh, gosh.
I was wondering what that meant.
I guess it was a shot at me. I don't care.
From when your
Just
camper
don't.
broke down.
Yeah.
I flew back on Saturday, for the record. This wasn't last night.
Do you do that because of in case there is like a delay. You don't get home on a Sunday night late.
I do like to have a day in between. That is true. But with Allegiant, they only fly on
That's
Saturdays.
true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's how you get those cheaper flights. You got to go certain days and come back certain days.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, why we do it is because of the nonstop and having a baby. That's the biggest. That's important to my wife, and so that's why we do it. Because I initially did book Southwest, and she preferred the nonstop, and I'm like, whatever's cool with me. We're flying to Savannah either way. Southwest, you don't have a nonstop.
And the drive there is, what, 13 hours or so? 13,
That's
14?
correct. So I left my parents' home where we were staying at 10:30 Central Time, and we got back into our home at 11:30 Central Time, which means I could have driven.
Yeah. Instead, you hadn't even left St. Louis yet.
So it goes. Things happen. But I raved about that airport and Allegiant last year, and I feel a moral obligation to the audience by sharing the other side of the story.
Yeah.
So there it is. But I imagine that can happen with any airline and not just I guess these would be called budget airlines, if I'm not mistaken.
How'd you like to be that person behind the counter when?
I saw it.
The
And
weather's
they
fine.
get berated. They get
Yeah.
cucked like nobody's. I saw it. I mean, it's just it's a young lady in Savannah who knows. She's just reading orders from a corporate office wherever Allegiant is, and just getting screamed at. It's But I also understand people are emotional and they're fired up and they don't know where to really vent. And if they don't have a dog avatar, you can't take people out on social media, so you have to go after somebody making $15 an hour behind a counter.
It's only the God-fearing dog avatars, patriots.
It's amazing how many people think if they just yell at the person behind the counter, they'll finally get to the truth that they are hiding planes somewhere with a full crew ready to go. They're hiding them back there somewhere, and they just won't use them.
They go, oh, yeah, you can use private helicopters. We actually have 50 Allegiant helicopters.
Thank God you asked. Yeah.
You want the key to your own plane?
What a tough job that would be. Holy smokes.
Plowhawk, you're not the only one taking shots. Take a load off, Tim. If this airline episode happened to Ken, he'd be holed up on PTO until Labor Day. That's from Little Tommy Tribbins.
Can nobody take a day off anymore? I feel like that's like such a faux pas now. It's such a humble brag that, hey, I haven't taken a day off in 6 years.
I am pro-vacation.
Absolutely.
I am so pro-vacation. I am pro-vacation. I feel like they're pro-vacation here at Hubbard Radio.
Yeah,
Oh, 100%.
or it could be they just don't care that we go or not.
Yeah, newsflash, guys. I already talked to Tommy and KG. I'll be in Colorado for a few days.
Oh, when are you going?
Beginning of August. So we're leaving like Tuesday night, August 1st. So I'm working Tuesday, off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So
Good for you.
Gone for the deadline.
what deadline?
You won't be here for the trade deadline.
Oh, man. Maybe I'll give it a take.
Yeah.
Only a couple hours behind.
Well, hopefully they'll make some deals before then. You can go ahead and go on your vacation. Because if a deal is swung, you're going to have to cancel.
Yeah, I got to call Mo and let him know my schedule.
Can you imagine that Plowsy has to cancel his vacation because the Cardinals traded for some aging middle reliever from
I could
Cleveland?
certainly imagine Madison's reaction. I need to pop a couple tweets off, so I got to stay in my time
Got
zone.
some
Tim,
old
how was
lefty.
the berating session from the parking people when you returned to Lambert? Doug, that's one of our favorite things is right there outside of the Southwest Terminal. There's usually really hostile security moving people along. I've traveled all over the country. I'm proud to say that St. Louis is the only one that I have seen where you're welcome to the area, especially with only like room for 5 cars.
Right.
And 2 baggage claim shoot 'em ups, whatever the hell they're called. What are those things? Carousels.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're landing in Paducah, and then there you walk outside and you wait for somebody to pick you up, and you are just berated by
The hazing begins. Well, the main terminal's the same way. There's one little strip of sidewalk there you can hang out, and there's a policeman or some kind of security guy walking up and down. You've been there 12 seconds. Move that thing. Well, he's just now putting the suitcase. I don't care what he's doing. You heard me. Get out.
And those cell phone lots where I typically park, like if it's a perfect weather day, yeah, that's fine. Your person who's ready to be picked up is standing outside. You got about 8 minutes probably to get there. But when it's freezing cold and they're basically forcing you to stand outside and you're driving from a cell phone lot and you still got to get back on that carousel of death,
Oh,
it
yeah.
just...
And if it's the main terminal and your guest is not there, you have to keep driving, and then you got to figure out how to get back to that place again. Who knows what turns you need to make? I've been to that airport 10,000 times. I still don't know where I'm going.
You're one wrong turn away. You're on 170 or 70 right there. Like you're going the opposite way of the airport.
Well, they've got a multi-million-dollar rehab project about to launch. Right, they're going to try to redo the whole thing.
I think the first step is going to be redoing that Chili's.
Well, hopefully that's not the first step.
They're going to put a double-decker Chili's in there with the Hooters.
Listen, it's very important that arrivals to our town understand that we are a region of law and order. I support our Lambert Cock ambassadors. That's from Arbor Day.
Yeah, they don't follow them all the time. We got back from Jamaica, and it was cold outside. And I didn't really feel like going up. I didn't really feel like going up the steps, and so I just went out that door waiting for luggage. And I just smoked right outside. 2 security guards just walked in, walked out, walked in, walked out. Didn't say a word.
You were in the building?
No, I walked right out the doors. We were supposed to go up the steps and go find a.
Oh, but you were outside.
Yeah, I just walked out the doors and stood right there.
And those jobs have 2 types of people: the ones that do not care at all, explanation with Iggy, and the ones that care way too much.
Right.
And that is the
Barney Fife.
You can't have a middle ground where people are like, the workers like understand what you're doing, and 5 minutes is probably going to be 5 minutes. And
I have to say, now that we've discussed it on the show, and so many people have observed it themselves, and Doug, you talk about it as well, when I see it, and after 13 hours of travel with a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old, it was the one thing that lifted my spirits when I saw the lady screaming at people at 11:30 with like 5 cars going past.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
I mean, it wasn't like we were at LaGuardia, you know, LaGuardia at 5 p.m. It's Southwest Terminal in St. Louis at 11:30.
You're afraid you're going to get arrested for putting your luggage into the trunk of the car if it takes more than about 10 seconds. And then you run and jump into the car like you're on some bobsled team.
It's literally like a pit crew to where, you almost keep it in drive when you're getting out to help your person. So it's like the car is still moving and you just kind of.
Yeah.
Now, the TSA people, and you still have to be careful what you say. They're not lax, even though we're, 20 plus years since 9/11. But I was, I forgot where I was going. But I was in line at TSA, and you take the shoes off, and whatever. It's no big deal. And there's she had to be like 70 in front of me, white hair, just looked normal. They pulled her over to check her. Said, "Ma'am, random check over here." I said, "You're kidding me?"
It's probably a disguise.
You kidding me? I said, "Do you really think?" And I used the wrong phrase, but I said, "It's not 75-year-old ladies with white hair that are blowing up planes." Sir, you say that again, you would not be on this flight. You can't say blow up planes.
No, you can't.
But I mean, this poor lady, she goes, "What? Where? What'd I do?"
Yeah.
She didn't know what was going on.
I know. I've seen that too.
If you don't know what's going on with your golf swing, go to Family Golf and Learning Center. It's a premier golfing facility for all abilities and ages, provides a friendly and encouraging practice experience for the individual or the family. Work with the great instructors they have there, and they have a bunch of really good instructors. Great driving range and short game area. Family Golf features a double-decker driving range and also a par 3 golf course. It's Family Golf. They make St. Louis better at golf, and you just might see me there. Just please understand, I'm a huge local celebrity, and I don't have time to talk to you.
No, and certainly no eye contact.
Thank you. Part of that.
Don't talk about your game, how you swinging them today. Don't say anything.
Just not today anyway. Learn, practice, play your best golf. FamilyGolfOnline.com. Doug, what's our title sponsor's name? Oh, I see.
Kelly.
It's Ryan Kelly.
Ryan Kelly, and he'd like to get you out of credit card debt. He'd like to help you anyway. Credit card debt is at an all-time high right now. Would you believe almost $1 trillion in the U.S. alone? That's how deep in debt our country is. On the average, $7,000 per adult, with an average interest rate over 25% now for the credit cards, and it's getting higher by the day. Credit card companies want you to stay in debt. They make it easy for you, and that's how they make their cash. And most people's pay is not keeping up with inflation. It's harder than ever to not use that credit card and get an even deeper debt. The solution is let Ryan Kelly And the home loan experts get you a low monthly payment, a one payment for everything. And the good news is your home values are way up, and you probably have access to more cash than you think. Check out the options Ryan and the home loan experts can work out for you to see just how much money you can save with a simple cash out refinance. And they've got that 10-day closing guarantee. So you can get on the path to financial freedom sooner than you think. Stop making the greedy credit card companies rich. Apply online today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Get your home financed with Ryan Kelly. Get your home through Jeff Lotman.
God, that's dramatic.
Yeah, I know you would use that dramatic pause, and I'm just ripping it off now. And I like it. I liked it.
Okay.
Jeff Lotman, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Jeff Lotman, who is a TMA listener, longtime listener, first-time advertiser. He's been selling real estate in St. Louis for 22 years. He has over $500 million in sales. He joined Compass Realty to start and build Compass St. Louis into the #1 luxury brand in St. Louis, as Compass is the largest luxury broker in the world. He never turns down a referral, no matter what the price is. Remember, luxury is much more about the experience than the price. They treat all their clients the same way. He can connect buyers and sellers in other cities across the globe. Visit JeffLotman.com. That's JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Jeff Lotman, if you are looking to buy or sell your home. Iggy's story has gotten a lot of reaction, which I didn't necessarily expect. First, I gave from the Cube Farm. As an Uber driver, I can totally agree. You need to be mentally prepared for the berating that you will be that will be thrust upon you. It's awful driving through Lambert to pick people up. That's from Gabe from the Cube Farm. Now, we had 4, 5, maybe 6 now texts in a row saying that Iggy's story was made up. Mr. 63011, who has the fast golf cart at Meadowbrook, worst made-up story in show history.
Oh.
White-haired old lady, mystery flight. Take a lap, Bootsy. That's from Mr. 63011. That is one of the worst made-up stories Iggy's ever told.
I don't know that it is.
That's some painter guy. From Sister Patricia of St. Mary Magdalene, Brentwood. It's 7:30. It's too early for stories that never happened. Harrison's brother, Master. Ken, you've been to the airport like once in 4 years. You can tell Iggy's internal, it's time to say something. Alarm clock just went off with an airport story. That's some Dogtown Ty. And then the next text, good story, Pawpaw Wheezy Snoots.
Oh.
That 75-year-old broad was only like 6 years your senior. Thanks for sticking up for your geriatric friends.
Oh.
That's from B Money.
Well, at least he believes
it. I guess he believes it.
I mean, it's quite obvious at this point someone is being lied to.
No, they're not being lied to.
They'll shake down anybody.
I don't know how long ago it was, but, I used to fly quite a bit.
I was in New York right after 9/11 covering a Rams game at LaGuardia, where you would think that nowhere on earth would security be any tighter than a New York airport weeks after 9/11. And it was. They were everywhere, with machine guns out. It looked like, a foreign country, the security that was there. And we walk in with bags full of equipment going through the x-rays with batteries and wires and lighting equipment. I can't imagine anything would look more like bomb-making equipment than what we had. No one said a word to us. No one did anything, said anything, looked at any bags. And they had a young mother who had to be in her 20s, juggling 2 kids and a couple diaper bags. They had her in the corner going through everything she had in that entire bag. Does that look like a terrorist to you?
Yeah, because I thought right after 9/11, they were only they called it, I guess it could have been racial profiling, but for good reason, that they were only checking people from the Middle East. Like if you were from America, you're just going straight through, but they were picking people out.
Well, you can't always tell where the people are from. But yeah, they used to racial profile all the time at airports.
Speaking of 9/11,
they don't do that anymore, I don't think.
This is it's probably like 5 years old. You guys ever see the 9/11 documentary that those 2 French guys did?
I believe so.
Yeah, they were just following around a rookie firefighter. That was going to be their documentary.
They were the ones who caught the video of the first plane.
I'd never seen that before. It was fascinating.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah. The photographer, I guess, at the time
The name of the podcast.
could tell, even though he was shooting something else.
That's out there. That's what the segment will be
He could tell. He could tell at the time that plane was way too low and something was off. And to his credit,
is that right?
He
Really?
went
I
up.
didn't
He
know
went,
that
he went from
backstory.
showing a fireman doing something on the truck
would
to
assume they just
up in the
heard
air
it.
to see
I
the
would
plane.
assume
Yeah, it was right over their heads.
Right.
Yeah, because they were like, that firehouse that he was at was only like 3 blocks from the
Yeah.
Trade Center.
Is the YouTube up? I'm on it.
Oh no.
Yeah, it looks like it's live and on our cameras.
Jackson, is it up?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. Whew.
Maybe
There's probably two separate ones.
two separate feeds.
Yeah. I can try to get rid of the old one, but I don't know how to do that without getting rid of the new one.
I look hot. Do I look hotter in here, Doug, or do I look hotter when I have shrubs and caddies behind me?
I prefer.
I'm sure you like the second one.
I guess here the lighting is so good on you, Tim, here that I guess it would be
Yeah,
here.
you're probably right. I was backlit there. I was so pissed about the sun. Never been angrier. Text in 314-881-TMA5 EF group text inbox is where you can text. And you also can email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. And of course, call in, as many people choose not to do. 636-9004 TMA, 636-9004 TMA. Speaking of taking a day off, Sinbad has one hell of a work ethic. He was on HG2 all week.
Was he again?
That's from Larry Thornton.
Gosh.
I doubt that.
I did a thing to where I deleted a comment. It's the first time I've done it in a long time.
mean?
Who's
Deleted a
coming?
comment.
Oh, well, somebody brought up this Sinbad thing, and there was about 20 comments about how lazy I am.
Yeah.
And the routine. It's typically
Sure.
this is not the first post this
No,
has
it
happened,
isn't.
nor will it be the last. And so I was like fed up and annoyed, and saw one too many comments. And so I commented. Then about a minute later, I'm like, I think I'm going to take that one down.
Oh, wow. What did you say?
I don't think it was too serious.
Did you threaten somebody?
I don't think, maybe indirectly, but not directly. I just played along with him. I go, yeah, Plowboy sucks, man. That dude definitely needs to be fired. And just went on with like that kind of shtick. And then I said, you effing people need to get a life. And I was like, maybe a little aggressive. So I went back and deleted it. I still feel that way, but I don't know if it needed to be on the fan page.
I took,
so
it
I
on,
deleted it.
I took it on a Twitter comment this weekend. First time I'd done that in probably ever. And it wasn't mean, but I was watching the American Century Championship from Tahoe, where all the celebrities and athletes play.
It looked gorgeous, by the way, out there. It looked
Yeah.
amazing.
Doug Steph Curry with an eagle putt to win it on
You know,
Yeah.
what a week.
18 and a hole-in-one on Saturday.
Yeah, I've been there once. Jay and I went down there and did a remote from down at the driving range. It's pretty cool. We got a lot of people
Lake
on.
Tahoe is beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
But I was watching, and I forgot. Oh, it was
Don Corleone had a
Allen.
place on Lake Tahoe,
He
didn't he?
did. I thought it was Michael's place.
it was Josh Allen getting ready to putt, and his caddy's lining up his putt from behind him, and he stood right behind him as he putted, which technically is a 2-stroke penalty.
Why?
Well, the caddy cannot stand behind the player while he's putting.
Where are they supposed to stand? In front of him?
No, off to the side. But there's caddies that sometimes will line up the putt and they'll like put their foot behind them, and they can see behind them where their foot's lined up to hit. And USGA stopped that. You can't stand behind the player. You can line him up, but before he putts, you got to move out of the way, and he didn't. So I just tweeted. I said that should be a 2-stroke penalty
Oh,
on Josh
no.
Allen. His caddy.
No, I bet that guy.
And I
the
took
whistleblower.
and I took a picture of the caddy right behind him as he's putting.
Oh, no.
And there were like 4 comments all saying, "Narc, narc. What do you care? Leave him alone." I said,
Yes.
I guess this ain't gonna work. Just get rid of this.
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah, trust me. I've given a lot of takes on Twitter go, oof.
What were you
Wasn't
hoping?
thinking that reaction, but
Were you hoping the USGA would notify you and say thank you for your
Thanks,
for
Tom
noticing?
O'Toole.
Yeah, it's
we're
working.
actually going to offer you a
So
full-time
they're saying,
position.
"Oh wait, this guy tweeted it."
It's
Let's
happened
take a look
before,
at it.
though, hasn't it? Where people pointed out
Oh,
rules
yeah.
violations
You
that they saw on
can't do that
TV.
anymore. I don't think. They don't get fan feedback now.
No, they used to be able to. And one person watching called the rules office. How do you have that number?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I just thought it'd be funny, and it didn't work out very well. So
Well, the old Appleton stepdad didn't enjoy it.
he's probably the one that said narc.
Oh, yeah, Plowsy? Well, I can top that story about your deleted fan page post. I deleted a tweet. Don't take my spotlight. That's from the old Appleton stepdad.
You know, if we're telling a
They're
story,
coming at him hard today.
if we're telling a story and somebody else has a story similar to that, don't you just add into it?
Sure, it's a complimentary story.
I'm not saying you did something, I did it too.
I didn't take it that way, by the way, Iggy. I did not look at it.
I know you didn't, but these people are just.
But that was a funny
I might as well just not speak because every time I speak, I'm hijacking a show.
No, go ahead and rip them.
Plowhawk, what was the thread? Because I had a chat.
The thread was the
Was it in the thread?
great Larry Thornton's post.
Oh,
And I was
Larry, I saw you air quoted right there. Well, Larry Thornton does use his name, and I respect.
Correct. No, yeah, and I met him. I did with a few times, and I don't mind him one bit. He's not a banty, but it was kind of a funny little post about Sinbad playing over the weekend.
Yeah.
It was more or less just
I got
the
it. I
aggressive comments. It's just so. And then Larry had a response comment, and that's what
Well,
happened.
then
Larry,
block him.
Larry, your responses of the lack of or the complete laziness is unfathomable, or some sort of stupid comment.
He does a lot of trashing in the
It's
show.
Saturday morning at like
Okay,
7:30 in the morning, dude. My whole thought is, dude, it's Saturday. It's a perfect time to not give a crap about what's on weekend programming.
Yeah.
You know, let's make fun of when you produced and your shows were all the same.
Larry Thornton.
Put him on blast.
I didn't drag him that way.
Every Sunday
I did
night,
say
the
they
same
need to get a
show.
life.
So
Why are we so banty on a Monday morning like this?
Yeah, it is true.
responding to these people.
It's the carryover from Saturday. But I'm thinking in my head, okay, it's Saturday, and I'm thinking about like Larry Thornton's like priming his lawnmower, getting ready to piss off the neighbors in like a half hour, and just listening to the radio, and Sinbad comes on, and he's like, you know, it could be a good idea.
How many times
Get on
did you
the fan
replace
page.
Sinbad? How many
One
times?
time, and it's tempting me now to play it every
Just keep
day.
it going. Yeah. This is for you, Thornton.
The Sinbad clause, to where it just peppers in every day at random times.
Sure.
Do we have a drop we can play of him every time it's brought up? We just
No,
play it.
I need to go back into the clip and actually extend it and to make it longer.
Well, you've heard it enough. You should know what he said.
How many times do you think the Sinbad interview has played?
More than what you would actually
Like
believe.
10 or 12?
100? No, I don't know.
100 times?
I don't think we have that algorithm. We can see when it was last play, but not total plays.
Oh.
Guys, nothing like Ken, who didn't have a real handicap until pressured to get one a few years back, and who fires into anyone taking too long for his liking, even if the whole course is backed up, to use Twitter to be a rules aficionado and an all-star quarterback in a pro-am. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener.
Well, it wasn't a pro-am, and you're talking about me out there playing on a weekday compared with friends compared to these guys that are playing for $50,000, $75,000, and it's, you know, and Josh Allen probably should have been disqualified. I didn't look because at the end of the tournament,
Damn,
they showed the 18th hole where he missed a putt, and then he just picked up. He didn't even finish the hole. What are you going to get? What score are you going to give yourself?
Are they like shooting hoops in between like tee shots at that
yeah,
tournament?
I saw
Like, aren't they
Draymond
kind
Green
of forgoing the rules
going
for
up
the
for
most
like
part?
40. But did you see the Marty Fish thing?
Oh yeah, that was wild.
That
Doug, what was the Marty?
I didn't
what
see
happened?
it.
Someone
Doug?
screamed in his backswing on
Yeah,
18.
somebody should have found this guy.
it was bad.
Really?
Even
is
the
there
cl-
audio of that by chance?
Yeah.
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 Is that in your audio, Jackson? I'm sorry.
It is.
No,
I mean, it's
uh,
easily found.
Okay.
Yeah,
Roger Maltby pointed it out right away.
Raj.
And he
Raj,
just...
what does he have down there?
and he dead shanked it
I
too.
can't see it. Let's go to
I
Doc
have
Pepper.
it whenever you're ready.
Well, Peter, it looks like he is behind some foliage. He's going to have to negotiate here and just punch out with the 7, it looks like. Here we go.
Hit the lever, Plowsy.
A lot of getting ready.
Somebody screamed right in his backswing on the way down. I mean, that was awful.
Oh.
Where'd it go? Well, it went straight right. It went straight into the trees, the gallery, I think. But that was really, really bad.
Was it on purpose?
Yes.
Oh.
That was timed. That was on purpose.
Dude, but you
Imagine
should,
how furious the golfers are when that happens.
it couldn't have been more dead right now. I think that's what made it kind of funny. is it went so right, and you could see the crowd turning. They're clearly looking for the guy who was like squawking. It didn't sound like a yell, but like
making bird noises or something.
I was listening for a scream, and then I'm like, oh, it was the bird noise.
But everyone was speaking of narking, if everybody was calling Iggy a narc, everybody was pointing, and they didn't show the guy on camera. Everyone was pissed. Everyone was pissed. Because I don't know what hole it was, Jackson. But
last hole.
That was the last hole.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew that. I tuned in right when he was behind the tree punching out.
Oh, he's so
right. So I saw Curry hit that putt. But I had no idea about why he was behind the tree.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, it's a pretty easy hole.
Steph Curry wasn't happy either. He was
told Marty
pissed off.
Yeah, I think he just told Marty to reload, meaning re-tee. Like, that's
really?
Curry was like adamant that Marty should re-tee, and I don't think it ended up obviously happening. You can't. But
I don't think he said that. He was just
he said you should reload. No, like in this clip, he said you should reload it. You may not be able to like hear it because you have to actually see Steph Curry to make sure to like listen in. But yeah, I think Steph Curry wanted him to re-hit. And they were looking for that guy as if it was like the FBI on some sort of serial. Right? Oh, it was bad.
It's kind of surprising it doesn't happen more often, as obnoxious as people have gotten nowadays. Maybe the golf crowd takes a little higher quality of fandom than most other sports. Because you can imagine people asking for quiet in any other sports. And that's exactly the opposite of what they would get.
Guys, it cost Marty Fish the tournament. He most likely birdies that hole with a decent tee shot. That's from the Reluctant Cuck. Yeah, Steph Curry went in driver 8-iron. I mean, and it's a par 5.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but in that altitude, it's almost everybody in that field that's 10 handicap or lower can get on there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if you don't have to punch out behind a tree.
Oh, yeah. He's probably on it, too.
And I don't really know much about Marty Fish outside of I know he's won that event and he's a hell of a player. Then he's going to be on, at least he's going to have a shot to be on in 2. And if he's not on, he's going to be chipping with a putt for birdie. So,
if you guys are playing golf and there's some kind of random noise in your backswing, do you just completely break down physically?
No, because
I have
we're
to
used
tell
to it.
you, I had it happen. I was playing a match. It was the night of Jennings Memorial. And I was playing a match. I mean, it was in the B flight, so I kind of didn't, I don't want to say I didn't care, but it certainly wasn't, none of the stuff matters really, honestly. But this mattered even less than normal. And nobody did it intentionally, obviously. But I think I was 1 up and could have closed out the hole and the match on 17. And somebody screamed hi to somebody away right as I just like, I don't even know what you would call it. It wasn't a shank, but like ground ball. And I had a gap wedge. I mean, that's something that I'm going to hit the green with 90% of the time. So it's weird how that works because I know most golf people will go, because it's oftentimes subtle socioeconomic hate. But, but it is a real, if it's just quiet and then all of a sudden you hear that and it's so mechanical that it can throw you off. And Marty Fish is, a great player. And I guess that came into play for him there.
I've often thought it'd be fun to see one tournament a year where fans and players are allowed to yell at each other during the tournament.
I think if you know that, I think it's the quiet and then the noise that changes it.
It must.
If it's just all the time noise, I don't think it's as big of a deal. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have no problem at the Phoenix Open. Was that 16?
Yeah.
I mean, they know it's happening, so they just hit shots, and you don't see them shanking balls.
Now, if you're in your backswing and someone you're with breaks wind, then it's almost impossible to follow through with a decent shot. And as much as you hate it, you can't help but laugh either.
But like average golfers, will complain about that clip. Oh, well, who cares, But like they're so used to the quiet atmosphere. Now, this is Marty Fish, maybe not as much, but he's still playing probably on private courses that aren't party courses like your typical public courses around the areas. Yeah. But I still think the squawking and how right it went, Doug.
He just completely went spastic?
Immediately over. It was so bad, yeah.
I would love to know if those guys, there's got to be. I know Joe Buck was playing. He was playing with Marcus Allen and Roger Clemens. That was their group on Thursday or Friday. There's got to be ridiculous side action. I don't know if they do Calcuttas because it's not like it's a team event. But there's got to be insane gambling. So,
and you're in Tahoe.
I would be. Well, I mean, there's the money involved in that tournament. The people who are playing are all, multi millionaires. Or at least I would think they're all multi millionaires. So just betting ridiculous amounts of money. Mark Mulder's won it, Doug. I like Mark Muldew.
Muldew, yeah.
He's the only guy that's won it 3 times in a row.
Oh, did he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think 15, 16, 17, 16, 17, 18.
Didn't Rick Rhoden used to win a lot?
Oh, he did.
The old pirate
Former
pitcher.
pirate.
Yeah.
Guys, yours is the type of program where members of the show resent the audience members for having the audacity to listen to the program. That's from Arbor Day.
Listen to at your
that's
leisure,
all right.
but like it's more of the complaining on a weekend. Like if we're live, it's different. But this is if you've heard the Sinbad interview, how about you decide to just podcast another segment, podcast one of your favorite ones you like, or just turn it off and go be with your family.
Right. Stop listening to this.
Anything but going to the fan page and look at me, I'm cool. I'm gonna rip this guy's ass.
Right.
It's like, what's the point of that?
If you got a problem with it, just DM Plowsy. Plowsy, it was on again this week. How many times are you going to play it? You don't have to put it on the fan page, and because everybody else is just going to start making comments.
I agree. Wouldn't say I would love a DM at 7:30 on a Saturday.
Well, couldn't they also email Iggy at Negrill111 at
That's actually
AOL.com?
Pepper and
go ahead.
Jeannie's email account. So,
Go ahead. Most of them are going to spam anyway.
I was laughing so hard when I heard the Sinbad segment this weekend. I felt like Henry Hill in Goodfellas yelling Plowsy while I was in the shower, as if the Plow King had just pulled off the Lufthansa heist. That's from celebrity chef Dom DeLarise.
I typically never let that Sinbad interview go longer than a week unplayed. So
I think
you're
people
definitely, if you
expect to
do-
hear it now. It's got to be on on a continuous loop.
Every time I see it when I'm about to enter it, I almost want to look at the time and go, I'm going to be ready for Tuesday at 4 p.m. to hit.
I haven't heard it since we originally did it. What did we talk about?
I have never listened to
I
it.
remember him sticking around the studio and BSing with us, and I was like, oh, he was just a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, the interview was didn't
don't
really
remember
stand
it.
out to me
No.
one way or the other, but he was a great guy. I think he was a big sports fan.
Yeah,
so he-
Jackson would have loved it. He was talking a lot of NBA after the
that's
show.
That's right.
Sign me up.
Well, you missed it, Jackson. Sorry, you were only about 13 at the time.
Welcome to the Bonita Show. I am here at Fat Buddha Studio.
Yeah, that's when you start over. Especially on the intro, you just blow the intro. You know, if it happens 30 minutes into the interview, you keep going. But on the intro, you say, can I start over? And everyone says, sure, start over.
It's the mini orgasm while also trying to collect your thoughts. You don't see that a lot in local television.
Caller Buzz is the defending Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month, and you can compete with Buzz by going to tmastl.com and making your case. Good news, you don't have to use your real name. Complaining about Plowsy being too high and forgetting to hit a button is funny. Calling Plowsy lazy and stupid is not funny.
Thank you.
These basement toads don't know the difference. That's from caller Buzz.
Oh. All right,
I think that's a great point of that gray area.
Oh.
And you can certainly call me lazy and think I should be fired, but you shouldn't be able to say that on the fan page and then get, blown away when I have a reaction to that. Like that doesn't give you.
But you deleted your reaction.
I did, but I shouldn't have actually, and I'm glad I did for the sake of.
put it back up there.
But like, they get so surprised and think I'm the one that butt hurt because I need to. I would like to respond to your complete ridiculous accusation.
How dare you defend yourself?
Yeah. Like this fan page isn't for you just to bitch and complain about the
No,
show
it
with
isn't.
complete immunity. Like that's not how this works. You want to come at the bowl, you're gonna get the damn horns.
Oh, God. Wow.
Gina.
That's it.
Where's my oven mitt?
And again, I'm fine with you coming at me and taking shots, but you better be prepared, bro, because I have no life. So I can go on that thread for 50 or 60 more comments. You may have a kid to feed. You may have to go to work. I'm settling in, baby. It's noon.
If you want to go
I'm just
after
now
the
getting
bull,
started and Young and the Restless. I just packed my second bong. I'm in it for a long Facebook day.
You're watching Young and the Restless?
Typically,
I
typically
couldn't
what
imagine anything I'd like
losers
to
do.
watch less while taking narcotics as soap operas.
why don't you want to go after the bull?
You're gonna get the horn, baby.
Oh,
Is Doug Tubbin Mitzeroff?
Jack Wagner on that soap opera?
I think still is.
Is
I
he?
think.
do you think Buzz message us so we would say, "Oh, that's right. Buzz was supposed to have a big weekend with the doctor."
He issued a statement. Morning, boys. I want to mark myself safe from the good doctor.
Okay.
After a lot of discussion with the Finger Queen, we decided to not meet up with the good doctor this past Sunday. This was decided after getting quadruple texted and 3 missed phone calls, and I was still pushing for it for hashtag content. But the Finger Queen put the nail in the coffin when she said, "It's all fun and games until the doctor is inside of you."
Oh!
I want to apologize to anyone who wanted me to get penetrated and or killed by the doctor. I promise I will find more creeps and continue to search for sexcapades because I am the Henry Hudson of buttholes. P.S. They did not go to the game because we did not go. Isn't that alarming? That's from caller Buzz.
I knew that I had to have you inside me.
Okay.
Brian.
Yeah, I told you exactly.
That was the guy
what-
with no filter.
I told you if you didn't get a naked picture of the wife,
Yeah.
then he wanted you because he's only sending pictures of him topless.
That is unique.
It must be. Otherwise, I'm sure he could find some action in Chicago and not have to come down to St. Louis all the time, right?
Yeah, I mean you got that kind of money.
Yeah, so,
and you got a
they
good-looking
came to
girlfriend.
St. Louis to go to the Cardinals-Nationals game, which is phenomenal in and of itself. But
Yeah, to see a couple of last
then
place clubs.
Then they didn't go to the game once they...
Didn't go. The game was just a cover. It was to cover. It was to give him a false reason for being here.
Yeah, he thought he could get Buzz to have gay sex.
You think that's what it
That's
was?
the only reason. He probably can't find anybody in Chicago. He's not looking for somebody for his wife. That'd be pretty simple because she's very attractive.
And he's maybe a well-known doctor who doesn't want to
He's clearing
be
markets.
involved in any controversy.
Clearing markets. So he thought he could get Buzz. He thought Buzz was an easy mark.
King Fupa says, F these guys, Plowsy. I watched the same porno for the past 5 months. When you have something as golden as Sinbad, you got to go with it. That's from King Fupa.
You got to play the hits.
Yeah.
I sincerely love Plowsy, but the show eschews, Doug, is that how you pronounce it?
His shoes, yeah.
Interviews because they don't really fit well with the grab ass. Yet 30% of TMA All Day is every single interview with a comic from the last 10 years solely because they're long and he doesn't have to do much. This week I heard Greg Warren, Kevin Nealon, and Sinbad.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah,
Jackson.
I'm going to take this over real quick.
Oh,
so,
right.
like,
Let me fasten. Let me get these
well,
mitts
no,
up.
it's not a take. It's just like this is just, and again, I mean, he may not understand this, but those. If you don't know what I do and like you're confused of why these interviews are playing, you can't end it with, well, probably just because he's lazy and doesn't care and these are long enough so he doesn't have to do any work.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Evergreen?
No, yeah.
Segments are Evergreen.
They last forever. They're green
They last
year-round.
forever because there's not topics of a Cardinal game from 3 years ago or a certain topic that is now completely useless that we were talking about 3 years ago. You got to take about a bunch of live reads as well. So when you find these types of interviews, you know you can play them.
You make them your workhorse.
Because they're comic. The comic talk about their life story, what they're doing currently, what they've done in the past. All that stuff is relatable.
Well,
from
sure.
now, a year from now, 2.5 years from now, you can listen to that Sinbad interview. Talking about what Dexter Fowler did in the outfield that one night. And doing a wrestling recap with Larry after that, like from wrestlers who may not even exist, for programs who may not even be on the air, like that is not evergreen.
No, it isn't.
So go do your little customer service job and leave the big boy jobs to people who actually have brain cells. You want to ask a question, that's
Like
fine.
us. We're big boys, right?
You're coming at the bowl, you getting the horn, and they're right up your ass, boy. So I think I put that one to bed. Next, rack 'em.
Oh,
The great Charlie would say.
Young and restless on deck.
I almost
I
fell
mean,
off
it's
the
just
stool.
like, ask a question, but you can't tell me I'm lazy without even knowing the answer.
No, I can't do that.
Is the MyBookie AG bonus code that is promoted constantly still valid? That is from the Birthday Hawk.
See, that's weird. I mean, I don't know if there is one. Can you tell me the segment so we can delete it?
Yeah, we sure would like
500 segments. You're bound to have one of them still lingering in there.
Rockio would handle that read.
Yeah.
A need for evergreen content does stop. A need for evergreen content does stop segments from 2021 discussing the J Hap trade from making its way into the rotation. That's from Gummy.
Like, if you notice this, just let me know. But sometimes you can't just abruptly take some of those out because that'll randomly come up in like a a funny grab-ass topic. And having just a complete, like, minute or two completely taken out of there, it sounds really choppy.
And we all have such ADHD that who knows what topic could come up at any one moment.
I think it's hilarious how they think just I can just open up a segment and just go and just like talk to it as if my computer is like AI and go, hey, cut me up a 25-minute segment, take out all the live reads, make sure it's evergreen.
Not yet. You can't.
Loading. Okay, we got a segment, save. That is not even close to. It
Have you always been
kills
this lazy?
my soul.
Or is it just something you developed in radio?
See, that's funny, Doug.
Okay.
That's funny.
Plowsy got compared to John Mozeliak in the Larry Thornton thread, and it was spot on. That's from Hyman the Roth. How are you, John Mozeliak?
Apparently, I have the same power John Mozeliak does with the DeWitts as I do with Stan Hubbard in Minneapolis.
Is that right?
That's the only
You're his right-hand man.
That's the only realistic comparison. Comparison they use is a joke. Like, so I don't know why they exactly went to comparison, but I did see that.
You don't even own an ascot.
It didn't make me laugh, and it was dumb. But I don't know, I didn't respond to that one. It didn't need one.
Who did you respond to, Larry Thornton?
Oh yeah, right when he said the laziness is unfathomable. That's when in my head I'm like, okay, first of all, you're showing off your vocabulary. Yeah. Second off, I'm not lazy.
No.
And I just went off. I popped off, Doug.
He had it coming, this guy.
He did. But I deleted it.
This weekend on the way to church, there was a clip played of me getting my salad tossed all coked up by a gum-chewing crackhead.
Oh.
It was classic. That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville in Webster Grove.
But let me make sure I get these random, terrible segments I'm sure you want me to edit. God, I remember that one time I called in and it lasted 30 seconds. You should definitely edit that for a best-of. Oh, these tryhards, man.
Plowboy, stay off the fan page. Those people suck. That's from the Crystal City Clam hymn.
But the problem is if you let it go on... you can't just let them go. You gotta, every time a post is about me in a negative way, I want these people to really think about it before they hit send.
Do you?
Yeah, because if they know they can just get away with it, they're going to be sending them like, you get the horn. That's what it's called.
That won't stop them. That'll make them probably go further.
Well, I'm excited.
Is it not possible for someone to jot down a note if we ever have a segment that appears to be evergreen, we should just write it down immediately and go back and clip and save it, or do you do that already?
I do it just by how great Jackson does with the notes and the topics that are titled as well. You kind of know what's a Cardinal topic, what's a sports topic, and what topic you could consider to be evergreen, because the notes go in depth on an Iggy story and, you know, discussing a Pepper and Genie topic, which are always evergreen.
Oh.
So I take a little time reading segment notes, but
you do.
But again, that's just another lazy way of saying I do nothing.
Feels like it. So.
Doug, here is the comment. The irony of Plowsy is that he is the John Mozeliak of TMA. The fans constantly question his moves, but he just gives the middle finger because the best fans in HD2 keep listening, and McWallet isn't going to hold him or Strode Mole accountable.
Well, that's not too far from true, is it?
But yeah, but like, what brass is he talking about?
Well, the people that run the station, I guess.
Stanley Hubbard?
Well, that's going a little high up the ladder.
Stanley Hubbard, he's 90. You think that dude is going, we need to lock this guy up to a long-term deal. He's untouchable.
Yeah.
And no one said that. No one should say that about me. But again, I don't get the comparison. I do not wear ascots. And I don't have a Brooks Brothers membership.
Why was I mentioned?
Hey, remember, it's just a store.
I got nothing to do with this.
I know. I don't know how Iggy got dragged into it either.
Strode Molly. I didn't even catch it as I was reading it.
I just hear my name and I got nothing to do with this. But
I don't even know which text sent it. We're getting so many damn texts about this. Now here it is. The irony of Plowsy is that he is the John Mozeliak of TMA. The fans constantly question his moves, but he just gives the middle finger because the best fans in HD2 keep listening, and McWallet isn't going to hold him or Strode Mole accountable.
Who's the HD? Who's it comparing? Like, who are the DeWitts and the eight? Like, that's Stan Hubbard, right?
Or maybe the boss is here locally.
Yeah, but that's just Larry Thornton just going off on.
That wasn't posted by Larry Thornton.
No,
I thought that was. I thought he started the post.
100% you have blocked too, by the way, Iggy. I think.
I have a most blocked.
In that thread, probably.
Mr. Sider says hashtag Plowzalak.
And he's using my old Spanish teacher name as a text line name. That's pretty good. Mr. Sider.
Watching on YouTube this morning is Ken is close to pout time. That's from Mr. 63011.
Why is that?
Mr. 63011 has that fast golf cart. You can call in 636-9004. We'll move you to the front of the line here in the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Work with Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, and Peter Munganess at Munganess St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota. StLouisAcura.com and AltonToyota.com. It is Munganess, and you can use that secret phone line of 314-252-0029. Or just go shopping at StLouisAcura.com and AltonToyota.com, and you don't even have to have gotten your car from Munganess to get your car serviced at Munganess. It's Munganess St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota, sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour and the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. Did we have one last week?
I believe we did.
Yeah, we played the Genesis. I got a feeling.
The Scottish Open, Rory.
I got a feeling that McIntyre cost me a win.
Jackson.
Idiot. Jackson.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh.
Hold on.
I actually had the winner in the other tournament. The Barbasol actually had Vincent Norman.
Wow.
Yeah,
Never heard of man.
But I had, I knew a little bit of him from Sweden, and but I missed 3 cuts.
Doug had Schauffele, Clark, Van Ruin, and Gordon. All those guys made the cut. Unfortunately, Razabal and Cantlay did not.
Idiots.
Doug finishes with 333 points. Iggy had Hatton, Dietrich, and McIntyre make the cut. Hogard, Rye, and Fitzpatrick did not yet, even though Iggy had one more guy miss the cut, having McIntyre finish second, put him over the top, 338.5.
Oh, see, the scoring doesn't seem fair, yeah.
And T-Head was also...
Well, did the children get anything?
Not a nickel.
Even from the guy who researched it and got to pick his team, hand-picked?
Nope.
Well, once again, my guy was 1 stroke off the lead. This is like 5 weeks in a row. I've had the winner or the guy right up there. At one point, with 4 holes to go, Hatton and McIntyre were tied for the lead. I don't know what happened to Hatton. He just decided, I'm just going to make a bogey, double bogey coming in.
That's what he decided.
He decided, yeah, I'm leading right now. It's time for me to start missing 2-foot putts.
Maybe we could put a dent in the homeless problem if you just pick better teams.
Well, I'm still kicking your ass. I'm like 7 up on you now.
Blindly picking. I don't, I'd love to help the kids.
Again, that's the whole point of the game. You say you can beat me picking out of a box, but you're about 7 behind me now.
It's been about 500 over the years.
You're not even close.
Yeah, it's close to 500.
Well, it's a major this week. Doug, now it's on to Carnoustie. Royal Liverpool. Am I correct on that? Is that what it is?
Yes. Last time, that might have been the last major Warrior won. Last time
2014. Yeah, 2014. Open.
And you don't usually win the week before. I don't know a lot of guys that win the week before a major and go on to win the major.
Well, that's because they're all so good.
Well, there's something to it, so I would fade Rory this week.
There it is.
Me too.
Well, you think he's so caught up in the celebration that he can't possibly
I don't know what
bell,
it is, but it's very hard to win a major after winning the week before.
He has been playing his ass off over his last 6
Yeah, that's
events.
like 7 straight top 5s.
I imagine it's hard to win, unless your name is Tiger Woods in his prime. It's hard to ever win 2 in a row.
Scheffler finished tied for 4th. I think that's 19 straight top 12s for him.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of that event. I
watched a lot of golf yesterday.
So it wasn't available at the Savannah Airport or Midway. Boy, that Midway's an asshole, by the way. You ever?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Jeez, Mary and Josephine. Holy crap.
Yeah, they haven't spent too much time decorating there.
Wow. Excuse me, gentlemen. I have a serious question. Why is Ken wearing an orange STL Cards hat? He's also dressed for winter. Thanks. That's his brother Matt.
Well, this is very lightweight, and it's
I'm wearing a blue hat.
It's like 50 in here. Yeah, well, what do you care what color hat I'm wearing?
Yeah,
Why am I wearing it?
Where do you even get an orange cardinal hat?
Like Schnucks.
I really do feel bad for these people.
I pulled it off my shelf. I said,
I do.
I'm wearing a tan zip, so orange will go with that. I'll pull the orange on. Is that okay with you?
I wonder what the occasion was that they decided even to manufacture orange cardinal hats.
I don't know. I liked it when I saw it.
Is that orange or is that city red?
It's orange.
Pink?
Right there at Schnucks.
Yeah, I didn't have any orange hats except for a Tennessee Volunteers hat.
Ugh.
And it's fitted. It doesn't really fit. I bought it in Gatlinburg.
No.
It's kind of tight. I feel like wearing orange. Is that okay?
Harrison's brother Master.
Apparently not.
I liked it better last week when Tim was on and I was off to YouTube. You couldn't comment on what I was wearing.
Oh. Well, don't let him get you.
I don't. It's just stupid. You would
Don't be
take the
crestfallen.
time to comment on why is Iggy wearing an orange hat? Why? What are you wearing today? And let me ask you, why are you wearing that?
Oh.
You know, I get a chance to experience the 101 ESPN audience on YouTube for the first time in a couple of hours, Jackson, and I have been waiting for this day ever since we started there, and we've been as well received as we've been. How has the YouTube chat been on 101 ESPN? I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet.
You know, I've only been on 101 ESPN twice since you went to Hilton Head, or since the YouTube comments even became a reality.
Do they keep the comments open there? Because I know
Yeah.
the Riz show chose to pass.
No, they keep them up, from my knowledge. So I never looked at them the 2 days that we did the producer party because I felt good or bad it wouldn't help my performance. So why not just not look at it? But today I'll look at it and it'll be fun. It'll probably be super nice and welcoming and understanding. All those things.
Sure they will be.
Wrapped up into one
What do
sweet
we have today? The Little
comment
Piddles
section.
Weekend Wrap-Up? Is that what we have?
Yeah, that's what we got today.
Little Piddles Weekend Wrap-Up, Doug.
Yep. It's been a minute since
I know. That's why I forgot what the names were of these things.
crafted up some questions, so it feels good. Feels good. I haven't been in my studio doing the show in like some time now, so it feels good to be
Back in your little cubby hole.
home is where the heart is. So
You
I
like
say.
being in there versus being in here? The Michelob Ultra Studio.
There's advantages and disadvantages to both. I feel like I'm more part of the conversation in there, but I do get to kind of have my space back here. So it's give and take, just like everything in life.
Do you follow, I think the Instagram account is just called B-Ball. You ever heard of that?
The account called B-Ball.
Yeah, they post clips of talk shows and stuff talking about the NBA.
No.
And I heard one popped up yesterday. I watched it. The girl asked, I forgot who she asked, who would you rather have, Steph Curry or Iggy?
So
Or Iggy.
Andre Iguodala.
Iggy.
So that's an old clip of Max Kellerman, in which he does say he wants Andre Iguodala.
Oh,
That's
I'd like to
great.
pull that clip where it says, would you rather have Steph Curry or Iggy?
You should have saved it.
Springfield, Missouri, represent.
Doug, you like when a text is sent in and somebody starts it off with real talk?
Illinois.
No, I don't like it.
Real talk. Why does Piddles not participate in the 101 show when Tim is off? It's from Doug's work husband.
It's not like me. I don't get.
I don't have a work husband.
I don't. I'm not the master.
I
of
was
my own domain.
lobbying for you, the Plowhawk, and who else? Marshy Marsh and the Playful Posse, and Rockio.
Yeah.
And you got it, except for Plowsy.
That's for 2 days, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only 2 days. Well, I mean, they had Chris Kerber and his Voice of the Blues. It was the MLB All Star Game week.
Tough week to do it, no matter who you are.
Right. So, but
Probably great that Kerber was in. I know he had he had Berube on one day, and he had Oscar Sundquist on the day they signed him.
Yep. Still had Twelman on Tuesday. So because Kerbs is a big soccer guy, so. Yeah, they did. Curbs was great. Danny Mac was great, and then it was fun doing the producer party. Listen, I don't. They tell me what to do, and I do it, and so
Sure
that's
you
how I
do.
operate.
Yeah.
Not
Real
looking-
talk.
You're a simp.
I'm horny. That's from the Hunchback of Von Castle.
Didn't need it. Did not need that.
You don't see a Ledoux guy using the term "been a minute" typically. Surprised by hearing it from Jackson.
Yeah.
More of a Canton Plowboy type of phrase. That's from Ken's wedding toast.
People only started using that just a few years ago, right? That's a rather recent
I
phrase.
feel like it's a Gen Z millennial type slang more so than a geographic location dialect.
Instead of saying it's been a while, now it's been a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something I say.
Doug, here's more real talk. Tim, fun fact. The 69 in La Serena, 69 is actually for her birthday, which is June 9th. That's from the Foot Soldier.
Okay, we needed that.
That's the
Why did we
information
wait
we
this
need
long
around
to get
here.
that information?
Literally,
It's like a nice little footnote.
the only people that know that are the weird people.
The weirds.
Right? Like, most normal people would just be like, oh, that's a fun little, cute little sex position. I had that when I was 12 years old on my email account. When you know it's her birthday, you know you spent at least $800 at Tiffany's for like a tennis bracelet for her.
Probably
like,
so. Yeah.
You know what I hate? I hate the porn lovers that follow these porn stars. they get bent out of shape
Porn lover.
on like Instagram. And whenever Dillian posts something, I'll comment.
Oh, no.
And
Very subtle.
She posted something the other day from the beach. That's when I said that looks like she's losing some weight and she's back to working out.
No.
I just commented, looking good, kiddo. And somebody responded, why don't you go away, pervert? She doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Quit trying to suck up to her.
You in the Dillian comments group?
Yeah. You don't know her.
This is like an onion
Quit
article.
sucking up to her. She doesn't even know you exist.
Oh.
And I said, Jesus Christ, I just made a comment about it. And I do know her, so
And
whatever.
little did they know that you had her in your bedroom.
Yeah, little did they know that she was sitting on my patio right next to me for a couple hours. And
so you can call her kiddo.
Iggy, she was on a podcast and she said it there. She actually hates the position of 69. Thanks, that's from the foot soldier.
I didn't say anything. Plowsy's the one that brought it. Why don't you figure out who's talking before you start sending these comments in?
I just brought it up.
I don't
fact
care
that
what her
think
name
it's
is.
weird that he knows that that's her birthday. You know your favorite star? Do you know any porn star birthday?
What porn star's birthday?
I don't know.
I love Lisa Ann to death. Like I said, I couldn't tell you
I
what
could.
month.
It's the same
May
day.
9th.
Oh, yeah.
So you
Same
do
as
know
your-
porn
same as
stars.
yours.
Same birthday.
Wow, you're a creep.
She makes a big deal. It's my birthday too. She makes a deal of it every time she's on.
She was in Miami this weekend for Exotica.
Yeah. Yeah, she was.
You and Biff should have been there.
Yeah, that's one we should go to.
Why?
Because it's in Miami. I could go hang out with Kai.
Oh, he doesn't want you to come hang out with.
He'd probably actually appreciate you if you were to get him into
I didn't
Exotica.
see-
It sounds
I
like
didn't
it's kind of his brand.
I didn't see many big stars there.
Are there often big stars at these?
Yeah, depending on what's going on. Miami, I'm kind of surprised Bella Danger wasn't there. She's lives there.
No, I think we were all shocked by that.
But I saw a picture Lisa Ann posted with her in Brooklyn Chase. I don't know if she's had work done, but it didn't even look like Brooklyn Chase. When she said Brooklyn Chase, I said, is there another Brooklyn Chase besides the one with the nice breasts that I like? I don't know what she did. But
Boy, I can see you're upset with it.
yeah, because she's gorgeous.
Iggy, guys who comment on porn stars' social media are creeps. Also, Iggy tells a story about commenting on porn stars' social media. That's from the Chicago Ginger.
Did you understand? The guy was calling me a creep. I didn't call anybody a creep.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, he called me a creep.
Yeah.
But you're no creep.
No, I'm not. Just like when Learn does a...
Okay, what's the time?
8:17.
8:17, the first mention.
It's like when she does
Hey, that might have paid pretty heavy.
when she goes live, and I go in there, and sure enough, there's always one question: how creepy is Iggy?
Yeah.
Not creepy.
Is her answer, he's not creepy at all.
Yeah, she usually
How are the sports? Are they great?
Yeah.
she usually says he's not creepy at all. He's a very nice guy.
Guys, Keisha Gray was there with hometown hero Brianna Lee. That's from Josh Bob Bill, who shares a building with Keisha Gray.
Okay.
Hometown hero Brianna Lee. I thought that was Patty Maroon and David Freeze.
Yeah, you can watch that hero comment. I think Brianna Lee's been on the show before, back in the day.
Do you remember?
No, and she's from St. Louis?
Yeah,
I think she might have been an inside SEO.
I think she
girl next
was.
door.
Yeah, I think she was.
And there was a girl who wanted to withdraw from the competition that month because she found it offensive that she was in the competition.
No.
It was a great time in my career.
I bet. Makes you want to do it again.
Is this seriously happening on the air right now? That's from Ray King, and it was sent in with all caps.
All right, well, we just talked about a few things. What are you commenting on? What's happening right now in the air? Talking?
Mm-hmm. It could be the subject matter.
I'll stop talking. I don't care.
You found something more interesting on your phone?
No.
Drink's about to address the media in Nashville. I would imagine that will get you going.
Is this Media Days?
Can't wait till
SEC Media Days.
Can we go
For him.
live?
Yeah. He can bash another much more successful SEC coach about something that happened 6 years ago, get a couple laughs.
About beating him to a recruit,
Lose
because
first.
he had some big recruiting wins last week and the week before.
He's had some, yeah, for sure. He's not terrible. He's in the top 50.
What will it be like when Brian Kelly comes to Faroe Field to face an undefeated bunch of Missouri Tigers? 2:30, CBS.
I just hope Kelly is still talking in that Louisiana Cajun accent that he developed the very day he took the job.
And dancing. I like dancing.
I did see they had One pundit had Missouri at 4-8.
Pundit. I'd like to be a pundit.
I don't even know probably what that means, but it's the proper term here.
4-8. Wow.
4-8.
Jeez.
So they have them losing to Vanderbilt.
Stop.
And South Carolina were the two that were more surprising. And then your typical LSU, Georgia, and I forgot. I think maybe Kentucky was in that. I forgot Missouri's schedule,
Well,
so I
that
can't
shouldn't
really...
be too surprising. I mean, Kentucky beats them every year.
I don't know.
Georgia,
4-8,
LSU, sure.
That's rough. Especially with that schedule, that would be that'd be a fire drink.
Losing to
season,
Vandy in South Carolina would be as bad as it could.
You're down in South Carolina.
What?
You're down in South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm down
Well,
on...
I'll tell you, I played some golf with some South Carolina fans, and they love Beamer. Oh, Beamer ball? Man, we love Beamer ball. We love that guy. So they're super high on him. I don't know what South Carolina's expected to have. I have no clue.
Is Spencer Radler back?
But
yes.
Beamer's got equity with that fan base, that's for sure.
I like Shane Beamer, too. It's not an indictment of him. South Carolina just hasn't been that great over the past few years. But in the days of the transfer portal being so robust, teams can turn around quickly.
Robust.
Weren't they better than Mizzou last year?
No, Mizzou beat them.
Yeah.
Standings-wise.
Don't believe so.
What was their record?
Oh, South Carolina beat Tennessee when Hendon Hooker got hurt, and they got to really dance around on that one.
Well, you don't like those Gamecocks, do you?
I have no beef. The only team I truly dislike in the SEC is Tennessee.
Why?
I don't like them.
Why?
I don't necessarily have to answer why. I just don't like them.
Well, he's declining the answer.
I love when Mizzou beats Tennessee. It's like my favorite thing in the world.
A big old fan who has yet to have a chance to call in, apparently, says South Carolina's picked to finish third in the SEC East.
In the SEC East? Okay. Fair enough. I'll step down, I guess. I'll still take the Tigers.
I didn't think they did the picks until after media days.
This could be just like a Talty
Could
pick.
John Talty. Gosh, he's on my nerves.
What I read was a dude that didn't have a blue check mark, so it was a dude who was too poor to even pay the $8.
But still a pundit.
So yeah. So it's probably a dude.
Yeah, it's probably a talk show somewhere, sports show that had nothing to talk about last week during the All-Star break. And let's go ahead and break down the top 10 in the SEC.
Why don't we
this year.
come up with some rankings and put it all on Twitter?
We could be pundits.
Instagram.
Well, porn stars? What do you want to do?
No, football.
I'm out.
Yeah, I gotta
Well,
go to the
sorry to
bathroom.
bore the deuces.
You won't be bored if you go to Heavy Smoke and see Chris Schaefer. Sweet Mother of Mercy is he cooking up some delicious barbecue. He's a 3-time World Championship barbecue winner. He competes almost every weekend around the country in the biggest barbecue competitions. Heavy Smoke is right off of I-70 in St. Peters at Cave Springs exit on the outer road. Chris's meat is the most succulent, slow-cooked, perfect party your mouth has ever experienced. Homemade sides. He's a barbecue genius. I've been out there. It's wonderful. Get him to cater your party at HeavySmokeBBQ.com. It's Chris Schaefer and Heavy Smoke BBQ. I-70, St. Peter's Cave Springs exit. Chris Schaefer, HeavySmokeBBQ.com if you would like to have them cater for you. And while you're out there, might as well stop by Big St. Charles Motorsports because they're also at the I-70 and Cave Springs exit as well. And they're also a sponsor here of TMA. Disconnect from the daily grind with something far more powerful. The oceans and lakes around you. The Yamaha 2023 Wave Runner lineup offers everything, including the Built for Fun EX Series, the Race Ready GP Series with performance-enhancing technology, and the top-of-the-line FX Series. Chase a thrill or find an escape with Yamaha Wave Runners, designed to bring you closer to everything you love about the water. Get your 2023 Yamaha Wave Runner at Big St. Charles Motorsports, located on I-70 at Cave Springs in St. Charles, Missouri. Go online at Big St. Charles Motorsports.com. I-70 and the Cave Springs exit. It's a destination dealer. Guys, Ken sensed live reads is bolted. I can confirm that, but he's back. It was a very quick. It was a very quick step out.
Where did you go in just those few seconds you were gone?
Bathroom?
That was quick.
Well, I figured it's only one. I didn't have to take a recreational.
Oh, I hope not.
I figure because when we take a break here, everybody's got to go to the bathroom. So I just figured, well, Tim's doing a live spot. I can go to the bathroom real quick and come back.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Gives you more time to smoke when we do have the
Good
break.
strategy.
No,
Good strategy.
Doesn't matter. I smoke till I'm done anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Suggestion: Jackson is a huge fan of the show. Plowsy is not. That's not a dig. It's just a fact. Maybe Jackson could help identify funny segments from the show's history for TMA All Day, or get some ideas from the fan page or Buck Swope. That's from the Banty Boy in Bridgeton.
Oh, why so Banty and Bridgeton? They bought up the property and then didn't use it?
I do kind of.
Eminent domain?
I do kind of help with it. Like the first, I don't know, 50 to 100 segments that we had in TMA All Day, I pulled and put in there before Plowsy got with us. So
Well, one of the things we talked about doing, and I went to lunch with Tommy and Marty to talk about putting some of my podcast interviews in the rotation, because in the first few years of a podcast, we were getting ridiculous guests, and those would be evergreen. A lot of those would be evergreen anyway, not all of them. Or you can cut out parts that would be dated. But yeah, that's something that I know that we've discussed as well. I mean, God, I don't know how many. I mean, with Iggy and
over 100,
Sea Monster,
150 probably,
and I guess Gangster Pete. Yeah, so that's something that we've talked about.
There really wasn't a bad one in the bunch. There were probably a couple of political ones that maybe didn't go quite the way, but
no, those were good too. I don't like, do cable news thing and like start shouting at people. Just hear their perspective. I was scolded by another well-known radio host in the market for having one guy on to give him a forum, Doug.
Yeah, but then you go the opposite. You give somebody else a forum.
So did you apologize and say, okay, we'll strike that and never...
Or how come you don't challenge? I'm just like, I'm having a conversation. I'm not doing, take your pick of whatever cable news host you would like. Because I know I don't know, so I'm not going to act like I know just because I've read something that somebody else who I think may know and then plagiarize what they said. Let's see. Oh, Deke Dotem with breaking news. John Talty is actually skipping this year's SEC Media Days to attend the Sibian Conference in Topeka. Keep an eye on his upcoming top 10 list of rib detachments that will pepper that prostate and will make your whole leak with pure lust.
Oh.
That's from Deke Dotem.
Is that another one of his AI messages that he sends in?
ChatGPT.
He just gives them a few words and the AI comes up with a paragraph or two?
Didn't know that about Talty. Guess there's more money in Symbians.
Is it called Symbians?
It's like Simba version of Symbians.
Yeah. All right.
No Symbians.
Well,
I've only seen one. That was on the Howard Stern show when Jenna Jameson wrote it.
Doug, did you see Jenna Jameson?
No,
Jameson, right?
I didn't see it. I don't watch that. Is it still on?
Howard Stern?
You can watch him on the app. Last night he did a live show out of nowhere at 7 o'clock. And I guess he was just having a dinner party. And John Bon Jovi and Robert Downey Jr. and Jimmy Fallon were over along with their wives. And I guess they were all kind of intoxicated or high, whatever. And they just hopped on and did a show. It was relatively entertaining, I tell you. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
That Jimmy Fallon just sucks his way into so many stars.
Oh, not Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, God.
Shrapnel.
God, this guy.
Well, he's a star himself.
You ever listen to his show?
It's bad.
All he does is repeat what the guest says and laughs. That's his whole thing.
The Tonight Show?
So I was doing this movie in L.A., and this guy came... in L.A., guy came up.
Oh.
So we were riding in a car, and some guy stops me. This guy stopped you? He just repeats what the guest says and laughs.
Does he?
And then says, I knew you back when. We've been friends for a long time. He makes everybody know how long he's known the person and how great friends they are. And he just really digs me the wrong way.
Well, he seems like a happy enough guy, pleasant fellow.
I guess. I just didn't like when he first started his show that he said they had a policy that if we book a guest, if you go on any other show besides ours, we will unbook you.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Can't come on our show if you've been on somebody else's show. We want exclusive rights to having you as a guest.
Oh, yeah, that's no good.
Well, if somebody's out promoting a movie, you think they're just going to go on your show and forget the other ones?
No.
But that was their policy. We're not putting guests on there on other talk shows.
Probably why it's not very good.
Well, it's popular. I just don't care for them.
Okay. You'll
It's
be
just me.
upset to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will tweet at him.
You think so?
Probably not.
Probably not, because he doesn't probably do his own Twitter account.
He's probably a little busy for that.
Most of these people don't. That's why I was excited when Pitbull retweeted one of my tweets. So I said, best show I've seen, and had some pictures, and he retweeted it, but it was probably his...
Cassie Moore is on one of those streaks to where she has tagged Jimmy Fallon, Eminem, Ludicrous. She didn't get one like.
Oh, no.
It's like single-digit views.
What do you expect?
No
She doesn't have any
likes.
followers.
Okay,
Nobody
do you
knows
know
who she
Sharon
is.
would like it?
She tags all these superstars thinking, I don't know what the end game is. Are they going to see it? Are they going to care? Are they going to respond? And they never do. Ever.
Well-
She just did it the other day. I forgot what celebrity. Steph Curry after winning. She at Steph Curry. Hey, that's awesome.
Well,
And
yeah,
no
she's
one
just trying,
cares.
She's
Why-
trying to find.
But why do people do that?
She's just trying to market herself.
She's trying to pick up some followers, and hopefully, if they respond or something, then she can use that. So she's trying to dig me and trying to pick up some followers.
But after like the 9th one of getting no likes, you got to think. You got to switch the strategy up.
I tag a lot of people. I never get likes.
Who do you tag?
I didn't know.
If I watch,
dragging you in the process.
if I'm watching a TV show or something, I'll say how good it is, and I'll tag the actress. She is really great in this. I'm enjoying this show. I don't care if I get likes or not, but if I'm going to talk about it, I might as well just tag her. What the hell?
Are you hoping that this actress will notice? And maybe take an interest in you?
No, I don't really pay attention. I don't even go back and look at my tweets to see who liked it. So
Well,
I
maybe
wouldn't
you
know.
missed out on Audrey Pryor. What was her name? Audrey
Audrey Plaza?
Plaza? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was on an Audrey Plaza kick for a while there.
Boy, you
I
sure
was watching everything she did after I saw White Lotus. I didn't know who she was.
No.
I said, God, this girl who plays that, and I think Jackson said, that's Aubrey Plaza. She's all over the place. She's
Sure.
well known. I never heard of her.
No.
And then I watched Parks and Rec.
Right.
I watched like 4 of her movies.
Sure, she's performer.
And now she's up for an Emmy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll tag her. Good luck on the Emmys.
Right.
Good luck on the Emmys this week,
Yeah.
Audrey.
Maybe make a connection.
Just give her some love for the nom. Just say, hey,
Don't you like
congrats
that,
on
the nom? Do you
I
like
don't know
that?
what that means.
The nomination.
Oh, you had enough time. It's a 3-hour show.
No, I make them.
Only 280 characters, big dog.
I'm so happy that at Aubrey Plaza got nominated. She is so good in White Lotus.
Nice.
And I'll just keep refreshing.
Yeah, that might just be enough.
Just keep tweeting it until she sees it. Or
Yeah,
attrition.
hey, Aubrey, did you not hear me? Congrats.
I think on the 3rd one, she'll just hit mute. Jimmy Fallon doesn't hold a candle to the guy that has a fart machine in public. Now that is comedy. That comes from
That is Gilstrap.
Gilstrap.
Some guy DM'd me the other day goes, Iggy, is this the guy you're talking about? I said, yeah, that's Gilstrap.
You think he should be the host of the Tonight Show?
No, I don't. I think he's funnier than Jimmy Fallon, though.
Guys, Iggy once again resentful of someone else's talent and success. Put him up there with Tirico and Joey Zanaboni. That's from Big Tough. Doug, would you like to hear a call from Joey Zanaboni?
Sure I would.
You know, those doggies just keep on winning. 4 of their last 5. They bounce back from the defeat against Los Angeles on Wednesday night, and they ship Miami before they get messy. Take a listen.
They do right.
What?
Like a flatulent extra in the Oppenheimer movie.
I don't even know what he said.
I couldn't understand it either.
You guys stepped on it.
Okay, well, let's hear it again. Sorry. We won't talk this
Well, I
time.
think his voice stepped on it.
Exploding like a flatulent extra in the Oppenheimer movie.
I still don't know what he said. Flatulent, exploding, something or other.
Exploding like a flatulent extra in the Oppenheimer movie, which is
I
about
don't
the
even know what
invention
that-
of the atomic bomb.
Don't even know what that means.
I'm trying to.
Hey! That's what he used to yell.
Harry Carey, 64 album. You're in first place, Harry. Hey!
That goal was sick. That Leuven goal was beautiful.
Doug, he's done it before for these doggies. And he did it again. 3, do you say 3-0? Are you good with 3-0 now?
I don't like 3-0.
Top of the table.
3-0.
Top of the table.
They scored on, I think, 3 set pieces.
They did.
That's correct.
Yeah. I don't care when Miami gets messy. They're going to have some problems. They are trash. I was
Miami's
watching that
trash?
game, and they were bad.
Oh, you went to the games, that what you said?
I was just watching
Oh.
it, and Miami is not good.
I didn't even know they got the game in. I thought it got rained out.
It got delayed.
Remember when Jackson was excited for Tim to watch the Uncle Bottom for his nephew on White Lotus? Good times. That's from Jamie Rivers' Vacation.
It's a major
Speedo.
plot line. It was a major storyline. It really changed up the season.
It was. It takes me back a few months. I don't know when that was. But I felt like that was a bit of a bait and switch on Jackson's part. I was like, man, there's going to be, inevitably, there's going to be some lesbianism at the end of the show because Jackson goes, oh, you're going to love the end of the show. And then the end of the show comes, and it's a older gentleman bottoming for his nephew.
To be fair, he wasn't technically his nephew, but he was being portrayed as such. Either way, though, it was such a major plot line, and the plot was getting even thicker.
But to say I was going to look forward to it.
Well, if I could have used a different choice of words, maybe I would have.
God
almighty. But my sentiment, I believe, remains the same.
Is there going to be another season of White Lotus?
Absolutely, yeah. Yep. Different location, I assume.
Aubrey Plaza back in there. Did she get killed at the end?
She did not. You saw them.
Yeah, I forgot though. It's been a couple months since I saw it.
No,
She
it's
did.
the other female killed.
It's
the older lady. It fell off the boat.
Yeah, hopefully they don't bring her back. God, that whiny.
Well, they can't. She's dead.
Jennifer Coolidge?
Prequel.
Yeah, I liked her in.
Stefano DiMera, Doug.
I liked her in American Pie, but that's about it.
Hating on Fallon for saying he's friends with the people he interviews is all-time peak zero self-awareness. That's from Ray King.
Well, who did I say I was friends with? That's a big-time star.
Oh.
Well, you got to name him. Don't just throw it out there without naming some
Some
people.
of these musicians that you had on.
Well, they are friends.
You say they are?
Yeah, but when I interview them, I don't say, Andrew, you're my best friend. I've known you forever. How you doing? Oh, we've known each other forever. I've known you for 10 years. We're friends. When I'm interviewing them, I don't. I say them on the show because that's what you do. When people want to say you don't even know them, then I point out, yeah, we're friends. So you goad me into it, you listeners.
It's their fault again.
God, it doesn't seem like it's been 30 years, but back in those days, we had household names like J.J. Jackson and Mark Goodson and Martha Quinn. And this lady who I've been in love with for 30 years, and it's good to talk to her again. It's been about a year and a half. We were talking about the lovely Nina Blackwood. Nina, how are you?
Hi.
Oh, God.
She would consider me a friend.
Wasn't it Mark Goodman?
What did I say?
Goodson.
I thought it was a Mark Todd, Bill Goodson production.
Mark Goodson, Bill Todman.
Names like Mark Goodson.
That used to be all the game shows. This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
That's correct.
There's one guy from St. Louis. I forgot what his name was. It was on there.
Bert Convy.
No, on MTV.
Oh, well, Smash was on. A guy named Dave Holmes won like a VJ contest.
He was one of the top, or actually the probably the originals, along with Martha Quinn and
is that right?
J.J. Jackson and God, I forgot what his name was. I'll go down and ask. Now, man isn't here anymore. He would know.
Send a text.
Mark Goodman.
Bill Todman.
Martha Quinn, Alan Hunter,
Nina Blackwood.
J.J. Jackson, Nina Blackwood. That's it. Those are the originals.
Any of those people from St. Louis?
No, unless it was Jackson or not. Who was the fourth one you mentioned?
Alan Hunter?
It might have been Alan Hunter.
Alan Hunter lives in St. Louis. Somebody just texted in.
He's from Alabama. It says soon Hunter found himself
Roll
behind
Todd
the
Roll.
scenes.
Manute Bowl eligible says that he lives in St. Louis.
Yeah, let's get him on.
Doug, you want to get him on?
Well, sure.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know why we wouldn't.
We would enjoy a Michelob Ultra with him here in the studios. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates. Michelob Ultra sponsor the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship. The Final Four is here. Wow. What a time. The Final Four of the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship. It'll be Guy, 2019 champion, going up against Kevin Roth. And then Dogtown Ty going up against 2021 champion Todd Callahan.
No.
Are we finally going to have somebody win this thing a second time this year, Doug?
Well, I think Guy will win it. Has he won it before?
He's 2019.
Yeah, if you got two guys in it, have a chance to win it twice.
Yeah, Guy will win it, I think.
Jonathan Murphy, Iggy.
Jonathan Murphy? I don't remember him.
What, are we changing topics?
No. So if Guy wins his match and Callahan wins his match,
you're guaranteed
100% chance that somebody's going to win it twice.
Yeah. Looks like that Dogtown Ty's playing really good golf right now. Have you seen any of his matches?
Hell no. No, I haven't. No, I haven't, and won't.
Is he the guy with the drone?
He is, Flying Sibian.
He plays with a drone? Is that an unfair advantage to have a drone
No,
fly
I just
over the course
I just
to
want
see
to know
where
if
your
it's
shop might
the same
go?
guy that does the drone.
Would that be possible to have?
What? Have a drone?
To have a drone connected to your phone so you can see everything the drone is shooting?
I have
guess.
to tell, when I got to the 18th tee box at Harbortown, there was a drone hovering over it, and I go, wow, did they add a drone? Because people always get pictures on that tee box and shoot videos. And I guess just somebody brought the drone out there with them because the drone was gone we were on 17. By the time we got to 18, the drone was gone. I was thinking, wow, what a nice accoutrement. Not a bad idea by the people at Harbortown.
No.
Dogtown Time maybe came up with the idea.
I told the guy at Sawgrass, and I don't know if they do it now, but if they do, it was my idea. They stole.
Of course they stole it. Everyone steals your stuff.
When I was at Sawgrass, there's a picture of me on the tee box, but then we didn't film hitting the shot, which I would have loved to have because I knocked it 5 feet. So I went in after the clubhouse. To the clubhouse, you got to pick up your bag tag that they make for you. Before you tee off, you ask for your name, and they say you can pick up your bag tag. And it's all complimentary. If you pay, I didn't pay, but I still got one.
No, you're too big to pay.
It's a nice Sawgrass bag tag in the shape. It's got a cutout of the island. It's got your name on it. So I was in there, and I was talking to maybe the head pro or whoever's in the clubhouse. I said, you guys ever thought about just having a camera behind the 17th and just film?
It's not a bad idea.
And if somebody wants to buy their video, maybe they get a hole-in-one, maybe they hit it close. Oh, I should have filmed that.
That's a great idea.
And people buy it. He goes, no, we never did that. That'd be a moneymaker for one. You charge $20 for that video. If somebody hit a nice shot, they're going to want it.
I agree with you.
So if you charge them $20, they're going to buy it.
That's why I was thinking that, like so many people get those pictures and the caddies always have to take the pictures on 18, that perhaps they have developed something similar to what you're talking about 17 at Sawgrass.
Not that Sawgrass needs any money, but it's a moneymaker.
Doug, if we can add to the top line, let's do it.
Well, sure.
Why do you think people at Six Flags and that, they have a picture and as you come down the log fume, people buy that picture.
What was that noise that you just made?
They put their hands up in the air. Wee!
Okay.
Guys, the whole point of hearing that story is for him to say he got it within 5 feet. Thanks, it's from Slippery Turtle.
I've mentioned 100 times I got it within 5 feet and made birdie, so it's nothing new.
Well, we have new listeners.
And they
That's what I say. Nobody understands that when I tell these stories. I've heard that 100 times. Well, there's people that are listening for the first time and heard it once.
And they need these.
Yeah. Well, to get a good piece of video on that hole, you'd have to have almost a zoom on that camera. Otherwise, you'd see the guy hit, but I'm not sure you'd see the ball 150 yards up ahead.
Well,
yeah, the two-camera shoot.
Yeah, I'm not a engineer. I don't know how it would work, but
it really wouldn't be that complex. I do think that would be profitable. That is a legitimately good idea.
Yeah, maybe they do it now. I don't know. They didn't then, though.
I mean, you can't do it everywhere. It has to be like signature golf holes, like 17 and 18 at Harbortown.
Like a hole at Pebble Beach, maybe playing.
Yeah, what is that, 8 at Pebble Beach?
Yeah.
Maybe you've stumbled on $1 million idea.
Yeah, look at you.
I'll go up there and take pictures.
I might remove my capital for goodorbad.com.
Mm-hmm.
Still haven't seen a monetization
I'll move to Ponte Vedra and I'll just stand behind 17 all day taking video.
Would you?
And saying, if you want it, $20.
I'd love to have you out there.
Here, I just did it. Here, what's your address? I'll send it to you. $20. I'll do it.
Tim, this is a big week for goodorbad.com.
Oh, wow. What do we got going on?
It's Barbenheimer. We got the two biggest movies of
Doug
the year.
Barbenheimer.
Who's that?
Barbie and Oppenheimer come out the same day.
Oh.
This is the big week.
I want to see Oppenheimer. Barbie, that doesn't really do it for me.
Greta Gerwig. Shout out to her.
Are you going to go see Barbie?
Absolutely.
Are you really?
Yeah, Greta Gerwig. She's outstanding.
Why do you keep saying that?
She's an outstanding filmmaker, and this is her third movie, and I'm really looking forward to it. Margot Robbie.
Okay.
Ryan Gosling. Will Ferrell's in it.
Well, yeah, I like Will Ferrell. It just seems like the little bits that I've seen from it, it looks like it's awfully silly, like for kids, like almost a kid's movie. Is that what it is?
No.
Well, sorry, I didn't know.
So Barbie and Ken have sex?
I don't think it's a pornography movie.
Are they going to have a penis on this one, or is it just going to be the doll?
Okay.
Clip that off.
I'll report back. Hence why this is a big week for goodorbad.com.
Yeah.
But how are we, and I say we as an investor, how are we monetizing this week?
Maybe I'll open up a Patreon for takes.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
I think that could be big.
Yeah, just do a cameo. Start a cameo and say, I'll give movie reviews if you like. Just send me money.
It's like Shark Tank in here today.
I'll review it for you.
I feel like I could do the same thing with Patreon and only do it once as opposed to Cameo and do it 50 times. You know what I'm saying? Like if I do the Patreon, someone pays $5 for it, everyone gets the same take. If I do a Cameo, have to do 50 different takes.
No, maybe somebody wants you to.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Bill, because here's my review of Barbie. You personalize it.
Yeah, personalized to it. Yeah,
nice.
Maybe do a little cucking, whatever.
That opens this weekend, or
yes,
like tonight, this weekend.
Man, the life just left Iggy's body when Jackson took the topic off of his $1 billion idea and straight into Barbenheimer. That's from KG in O-Town.
Yeah, I was really downtrodden there.
In all seriousness, every once in a while, Ken has a legitimately good idea, and it makes me wonder what his life would be like if he had even a modicum of work ethic to implement those ideas. That's from Arbor Day.
Well, I had some work ethic. I told the guy what to do.
You didn't say the words right.
Work ethic.
Okay.
I had some work ethic that day. I told the guy what he should do. Film back then.
You don't get a work ethic
not
credit
my-
for
it's not my
just saying
golf.
something. You got to actually do something.
Well, I could have just left and said nothing.
Or you could have set something up and actually made some money off of it.
I don't live in Jacksonville.
You said you'd moved to Ponte Vedra.
Well, I would, but I wasn't thinking about it at the time. Probably couldn't afford to live in Ponte Vedra, but
Well, you could if you had with this thing rolling.
could be a moneymaker.
Yeah.
They stopped it at the amusement parks because all the girls were taking their tops off.
Oh, is that right?
They
I didn't
ruined it
know
for
that.
everybody.
Really?
Yeah, because what they would do is they would buy the picture, but then they get the camera, and the cameras they'll flash. So they had to stop doing it.
But who would care? Those pictures are only up there for a few seconds while the people are done with the ride, walk through. Right?
How do you explain it to your kids?
All you see is one kid walking by, and there's some girls flashing her boobs. That's all it takes. You know what goes on in this country. Happens once, you ruin it for everybody.
Well, couldn't they throw the people out of the park that did it and get that word out?
But everybody
Someone
was doing it.
stop
It wasn't just one girl. They all started
Everyone
doing it.
did it?
Almost every girl that came down that log flume or whatever,
I doubt
lift
it
her
was
top up.
everyone.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I got one of me.
Everyone?
I got one of me.
You
in Or-
lifted up and showed
in
your
Or-
nips, bro?
No, in Orlando, the picture's so bad. I mean, it looks like I'm scared to death. I'm kind of saying,
Well, usually,
my sister goes, "You want this?" I go, "No, please, get rid of it."
Usually, you don't even know where the camera is, right?
You know where it is when you're
Because
coming
it's a
down.
harrowing part of the ride. You're not looking for cameras. You're kind of hanging on.
Well, you know where it is, right when you're coming down. You see the camera flash.
This is at the log flume.
No, whatever it was in Orlando.
By the
They
time
had it at Six Flags, but they took it down because people were flashing.
They did not stop the pictures at amusement parks. Where does this old get his information? That's from the Breakfast Club.
So, Breakfast, you called every amusement park in the country and said, do you still do pictures? You couldn't have done it in the 5 minutes I've told this story.
No, he couldn't have.
Six Flags does.
Don't act like you know what you're talking about.
Six Flags still have them, Plowsy? You're a diamond member out there.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, people now just try to take pictures with their cell phones with their picture, and
yeah.
like you got them like trying to put their hands over it. Pretty funny. I don't care what I look like. I've done these rides enough.
Right. You still go on the log flume when you're out there?
Yeah, someone messaged me a picture in my DMs this weekend, blessed. And I couldn't tell I couldn't tell where they were. They just sent me this random picture of him and his wife. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, oh, this is Bill's wife.
Bill's wife?
Could have been.
I'm finally gonna.
Oh, wow.
And so my response was, Bill's wife? ? He goes, what?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
He's like, no, I'm at Six Flags.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
And then he asked you if you wanted a picture of his wife naked.
I didn't ask that follow up, and he didn't give me that.
There's one guy who did it to me. I didn't even ask.
He just sent you a naked photo? Of
No,
his
he
wife?
sent me a picture of him and his wife. Then he sent me another picture of just his wife on the beach. He goes, I'm blessed. I outkicked my coverage. I said, yeah.
You didn't know this person?
No. And I said, yeah, congratulations. And he goes, I can send some news if you're interested.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I said, no, thank you.
I get none of these DMs. Usually it's just, hey, I'm here in Sinbad
Well,
again.
even if she'd have been gorgeous, I would have said no.
This happened
Because
recently?
I'm not going to get in that situation.
Just recently?
Yeah, probably 6-7 months ago. I'll have to go back and look at it.
Oh, how was that not a topic?
I feel like
I've
we
had
left one out there. We left a pot out
Dude,
there.
if I get a naked
I thought I did.
listener's wife,
I thought I did tell that story.
There's a good chance that you did tell the story, and we, of course, have just
Nobody's going to mention
everything.
that. Nobody's going to mention that. Why don't you mention that I did tell the story, so I would know. But
I'll mention Glenn Betts Jewelers while people mention that. Glenn Betts Jewelers in business in St. Louis since 1941, operated by the third and fourth generation of the Betts family. The Glenn Betts difference is you are served personally. You're not sold. So if you are in the market for jewelry, go to the jeweler of TMA, Glenn Betts Jewelers, which develops relationships through generations of your family, too. They get to know your likes, lifestyle, and who and what you love. The 3 L's. GlennBettsJewelers.com. Located 1 mile east of 270 on Manchester. In De Pere. In the jewelry business, there is good, better, and then there is Betts. The Betts family passion for serving their customers has been passed down from generation to generation. GlennBettsJewelers.com. Jackson, tell the people about Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies, who's a wonderful individual.
Wonderful individual and the great communicator himself.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that I think sets Mark apart from the competition, is his ability to convey his message to his clients. I know you've heard me talk about it before, but I'm serious, man. You get on the phone with Mark Hanna, you have a discussion, especially that first conversation you have with him when you start working with him. You get so much information out of him just based on talking about life. And I think that's so valuable. I love having someone I can trust. You know, someone I know if I get on the phone with them, I'm going to feel better getting off the phone than when I get on the phone. And to me, that's exactly why I work with Mark Hanna. And I think it's exactly why you should work with Mark Hanna.
314-889-0503. Go online at evergreenstl.com. Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Coming up this Thursday, we're going to have a couple of guests in studio from the Illinois Recovery Center, which is the new premier inpatient substance abuse facility in Swansea, Illinois, telling their story and also why they created this facility in Swansea, Illinois. When it comes to the disease of addiction, getting help should not be as difficult as it currently is. The Illinois Recovery Center's mission is to be the receiving hand in the community when someone seeks help. The IRC delivers a comprehensive system of care that welcomes both the individual struggling and family alike. If you or someone you know wants to learn about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or email info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. Again, the number 888-472-9559 or email info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. An hour from now, we'll have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. It's time to close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour at 8:51. Is this a new record? We did it, really? We did it. I came back from Hilton Head loaded for bear, and we did it. We knew we could do it. We knew we could.
Right.
Set a record on your first day back.
Sends a message, I think.
Nice
You're
going,
here to
Tim.
play.
Yeah, I'm here to play. All right, we'll take a break, come back with our 8 o'clock hour at about 8:58. It's Ryan Kelly Morning After.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at tmastl.com. You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at tmastl.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com.
It's no secret that in today's market, buying a home can be a daunting task. Inventory is near record lows, and home prices are still near record highs. At thehomeloanexpert.com, we are here to help. We have loan programs for almost everyone, and with our 10-day closing guarantee, your offer is sure to stand out. If you're even considering buying a home, let's talk. It all starts now at thehomeloanexpert.com. NMLS number 1326241.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229. Or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and I have been a long-time Design Air client. What separates you guys from everybody else?
It's becoming more common for companies to just get their foot in the door. They try to come up with different ways to upsell. They try to see how much they can make off of a customer as opposed to, hey, we're in there to do a service. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it for a fair price.
I don't know how many emails I have received from our listeners who experience the incredible customer service Design Air Heating and Cooling provides. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com. I'm Tim McKernan here with Action Jackson talking to you about Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially, whether it be saving up for their child's education or planning for their own retirement and everything in between.
Whether you're like me and just getting started with your financial planning or you're already retired, call Mark Hanna.
It all starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs and design the right strategy for you and your future.
Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today.
Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
Illinois Recovery Center is the new premier inpatient substance abuse facility in Swansea, Illinois. When it comes to the disease of addiction, getting help should not be as difficult as it currently is. The Illinois Recovery Center's mission is to be the receiving hand in the community when someone seeks help. The IRC delivers a comprehensive system of care that welcomes both the individual struggling and family alike. If you or someone you know wants to learn about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or email info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com.
Butter me up, Daddy.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
I still can't hear the music through my headphones.
Doug, can you hear it?
I hear it, yes.
Yeah, it's Billy Gilman.
This is like the weirdest thing ever.
Ryan Kelly, morning after, 8 o'clock hour underway at 8:58. James Carlton's in studio. Look, Doug, he's from the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. He's online at carltoninsurance.net, and he's probably monitoring SEC Media Days, I guess.
I hear it's really difficult to get a credential.
Is that true?
No. Gabe said literally anybody that submits a credential, they want to be able to brag that there were 3,000 media members there. And
really?
So the SEC will credential anybody in Nashville that wants to go out there today.
I've been to it in 1999. Yeah, 99, covering Arkansas when I was working.
Who were the colorful coaches back then?
God,
Houston Nutt?
So the two big guys. Well, I mean, I remember. Alabama. See if you can name, without looking it up, who the head coach of Alabama was at the SEC Media Days in 1999.
Wasn't Mike Shula. Wasn't Gene Stallings. Ray Perkins. Didn't he ever go there for a while?
He wasn't there in 1999. Then.
Can we have initials, Tim?
MD.
Mike Davis.
Nope. He was never the coach.
Mildred Dickerson. Matt Day. Did you say MD?
That's right. James, you know this?
I have no idea.
Micah Durenberg.
Nope. Didn't have the job. Never got it.
Second letter, first name.
I.
Mike is right?
That's correct.
Mike. Yeah, that was easy. Mike. Second letter, last name.
You.
Mike Dubuque. Mike Dubuque coached at Alabama? I don't remember that.
I don't have the fog.
Mike Dunning. My third letter, please.
B.
Mike Dubinsky. Dubinsky coached there? I knew he'd been around a while. Mike Dubnik. My fourth letter, please.
O.
Mike Dubo. Mike Dubowski.
Where are we at now? D-U-O?
D-U-B-O. Fifth letter, please.
S.
Mike DeBose?
Mike DeBose. Yeah, that was easy. Yeah, okay, got it.
Sick.
Yeah.
We should definitely...
See, there's not too many radio stations breaking this down right now.
No, all we had to do was think about it because we got the knowledge.
It was Phil Fulmer in Houston.
Okay, Phil.
Big deal.
Yeah.
I assume Spurrier had to be there. I didn't see. Lou Holtz had just come back to Coast South Carolina.
Okay.
So I chased Lou Holtz up and down the hallway, and he had to think. I mean, I was still 22. I was 22 years old, which is nuts to think back on. And I'm like, I was told get Lou Holtz no matter what because he coached at Arkansas.
Yeah.
And so it was a big deal. And so I'm like, well, I'm not going to let him down.
No.
I mean, after all, I'm making minimum wage.
Yeah.
You owe it to him.
I do. And I'm the number 3 guy in Little Rock, so I'm a big star. And I chased him down, and he looked at me like, are you effing crazy?
Oh, really?
Because, they have those, you've seen college football coaches especially, and this is in the South, so it's at another level where they have, like, handlers, like it's Lil Wayne walking through.
Oh, but he was so funny, he made multiple appearances on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Oh, he was great, but he just didn't want to do a one-on-one interview with a 22-year-old from Little Rock.
So he blew you off?
No, he sat down and did it, but it's because I was so insane and wouldn't stop until I got the answer that I wanted.
And you were proud of that interview when you were done?
I look back on it and go, God, who was that guy?
How the
Are you
hell did
proud
you
of
land Bonds?
You did.
How did you land Bonds? And didn't you get...
I did get Bonds. Did have a conversation
Who's the Indiana
with
coach?
Knight,
Yes, thank
you. It wasn't on camera. He was ready to fight me.
Oh, goodness. Kind of like Doug in Florida there.
Doug with Earl Weaver.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, you didn't make Mickey Mantle cry.
I was just gonna,
a huge man.
I was just going to have to take it from Earl Weaver. I was going to
Hey,
punch
Doug,
him
let me
back.
ask you a question.
Doug is taking questions.
I'm listening to Tim, and I think it goes to say, of all the pitchmen locally over the last 50 years, Tim's probably on that Mount Rushmore. Who else would be the best pitchman, either locally or nationally? Is Carney on there? Is Jack Buck on there? Who are the best pitchmen for
local ones?
Yeah, or national?
Because Charles Barkley's everywhere now.
In terms of promoting products. And doing it effectively.
Mahomes is
because I understand that Jack Carney could make your mouth water talking about Keimels back in the day.
Jack Carney could have hosted the Tonight Show himself. He was so good.
He was that talented?
So funny. Yeah, he was fantastic. The best pitchman.
I feel like Jack Buck was pretty good at that.
Oh, yeah. Just because he was so well trusted, whatever he said, you were going to go, yeah, if Jack likes it, I like it too.
There we go. Okay, well, we'll come up with a fourth next week.
Okay, Mike Shannon sold a lot of beer, I'm sure.
Fast Eddie's, he was good at that one, I remember.
Yeah.
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 Frank Opinion, somebody just texted in.
Yeah.
That's gotta be.
I remember seeing his rate sheet.
Oh, did you really?
Yes.
Pretty steep.
Oh, yes.
He made a handsome living for himself.
He did indeed. I mean,
He had
it was
it
on his
figured out.
terms.
Yeah.
TMA does not exist right now without Frank Opinion because I learned his business model. I've told him that. He's been so kind when we left KFNS. He sent me. I still have the voicemail saved, as a matter of fact. So happy that we left there. But he was also very complimentary. And God, when he was on our show, remember that we had him in for like an hour, and he could just talk about a guy like a Jack Carney who could just go.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap!
Lots of porn
right there.
Yeah, he didn't understand us necessarily. And some of the emails that filtered through that he saw and read.
Frank
on the
Opinion
air.
is absolutely Mount Rushmore.
How long was he here? If you had to guess.
In
on
St.
air.
Louis?
On air, yeah.
Frank?
Yeah. 30 years?
Oh, I would think more than that.
Wow, okay.
I would think.
Probably, yeah.
I think he started as a country. I mean, I had him on the podcast, and he told me his whole story.
Yeah, I remember listening to that.
He was great. He's so talented. I mean, that guy is sick.
So you attribute TMA to Frank Opinion. Of course, you've referenced Howard Stern from back in the 90s watching Private Parts.
Howard Stern for the content, Frank Opinion for the business model.
So when Howard goes in Private Parts, whether or not that's true, that he just tells Allison that he wants to talk about everything. Everything's on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much percentage do you go on that? Like, I mean, you can't go 100% all in on talking about anything, right? Like, I guess he says he did.
The scene that was so famous in that movie, well, there was the one about the ratings. What about the people who like him? They listen to this. And what about the people who hate him? They listen even more.
Yeah.
Which is why I've said recently, how there's value in being hated, even though it's so counterintuitive. But the scene that resonated with me was he was doing the live read for the sporting goods store. Mm-hmm. And then he goes, I used to go there as a kid with my family, and then he reads the bottom, the grand opening is, and he goes, and that's the thing. When I was doing the chat on the fan page when we were flying to Chicago from Savannah on Saturday, somebody asked about endorsing people. And we'll read copy for businesses if we don't know an individual. I'm not going to vouch for you, for example, even if James Carlton, State Farm Insurance, I would go, I know James, he's a great guy, if I didn't know you.
Right.
And then there are some people in business who I personally wouldn't want to be associated with, and so I wouldn't vouch for them. So you talk about, like, Doug, you talked about Jack Buck and the trust factor. You can't breach that with the audience because you can't put a dollar value on that. So yeah, I'm not going to endorse. Doug's not going to endorse just anything. That's just not what we're going to do. So that's important. So when I think when the audience knows that we know the people, and in the case where I really am a client of yours, and you have been a huge improvement and the Plowhawk is a client of yours, that speaks to real life experience that the audience knows they can count on. I think you were in that email that we got yesterday, right? Did you get an email yesterday?
Yeah, I did see that. That was very kind. Brian.
He sent an email over about this incredible, Brian.
See, for any potential advertisers out there, this is what's so unique about TMA, is the audience will go out of their way to share a positive experience with Tim. And so he doesn't even have to come up with copy. Tim could literally just read that email as a copy, for a live spot. And that's why I'm so grateful for the TMA audience. I mean, they have been incredible. And I've dabbled with some other shows, and nothing comes close to TMA. Really? It's unbelievable what the audience does, how loyal they are to the show and to the advertisers, and how they do things like that. Like, do I think I provided Brian with a good experience? Sure I did. But I mean, I don't know if I would have gone out of my way to email Tim, and I'm so grateful he did, because if Tim's just like, I got 3 copies I got to knock out in the next 90 seconds, he could just read that email.
That's the thing.
And it's authentic.
I think the reason for that is unique about that is because we were on, and still are, I guess, but I mean, at this point, whatever radio station you're on, unless it's like a big one, it doesn't really matter, because people access the content in whatever different way. But because we were on these, low-powered AM radio stations, I said to the audience, I said, listen, you love the show, and we obviously love that you love the show, but if you don't support the advertisers, we're not going to exist. And so the audience, I think, intentionally was let behind the scenes as to how the business works, and the business only will work, the show will only exist if the audience goes out of their way to support the sponsors. Then, as it so happens, the people who have sponsored the show. Truly, I mean, no BS. I guess like I see some of the names here right now: Mark Hanna, Seth Goldcamp. I know the people from EDF. We don't use their names, but Ryan Kelly. Now I feel like I'm going to leave people out. I mean, God, Jamie Burkhardt and
I've met all these people personally. They're great.
And I feel
people.
badly because I'm going to leave people out here unintentionally. Trust me. But we're not going to vouch for somebody's business / identify an individual if internally we're like, oh, that guy's a jackass, or
Right.
he's going to screw our listeners over. Never would. Now, if something like that were to happen, that's going to inevitably happen over 20 years where somebody has a bad experience.
Sure.
It's just going to happen. But it's important that the audience knows that if we say it and we cite a firsthand experience, we are not making that up. There was a situation with an advertiser called Body Solutions like 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah, that got the whole market was in on that.
The whole
Somebody
country,
from every
I think.
station, yeah.
Yeah. And what it was the people did spots and say they took it and then they lost weight. I mean, pretty powerful stuff's going on right now with a different product.
But I remember one of the taglines was, make sure you don't eat anything after 6 o'clock at night. Anyone would lose weight if you follow that.
So a lot of people kind of, I don't want to say they got brought down by that, but yeah, that's a real thing. That's an important thing. So it's a credit to our audience, as you noted, that the audience goes out of its way to let the sponsors know they support them, because that was something that we kind of went out of our way to point out, I guess, starting 10 to 12 years ago. But also, the sponsors are good sponsors.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not sending people to you or to Mark Hanna or Munganest or Ryan Kelly or Seth Goldcamp going, oh, God, I hope it works out. And so when we have had people want us to do spots for companies that we knew we didn't have good experiences with, we refuse to do them.
Right.
And so that's a real thing as well. So if you want to piece the algebra together, I'm sure plenty of you can figure them out. I'm not going to do that. I don't care. I don't need, I guess I'll take more money, but I'm not like, oh God, if I don't do that, the honesty is more valuable than the dollar.
There's got to be subconsciously something you learned just growing up watching your dad that knew how important that piece of the business was, because I don't hear a lot of other shows promoting you got to support the sponsors like Team A has for 15 years.
I didn't. I remember I was working, Doug, the Blues were playing the Canucks in Vancouver, and a salesperson who still, I think, is selling in the market was my dad was the general sales manager. It was 2003. And I'm like, well, I'm on air. So when you're on air, of course, you're God. When in reality, the on-air people most of them are replaceable, and the salespeople are the ones who are the gods. It's totally inverse, or can be the gods. And he's like, I need you to get up and call in from Vancouver. We got this sponsored. And I'm like, number one, KMOV paid for me to be there, which was true. Mm-hmm. And number two, now you're going to make money off KMOV's expense. I don't think that's right. But in reality, I just didn't want to get up. I mean, F me. Now I'm 25 or 6, but still, it's wrong. So my dad was general sales manager, and I still was totally illiterate on the business. What I think made me literate on it was when we had to take ownership of the show in order for the show to keep existing in 2010. And then I realized how important those sponsorship dollars were, because without them, we weren't going to be able to keep the show going. And so the audience would be active and asking questions. And I go, here's how it works. You hear about ratings. For our show, it means nothing. It truly means nothing. And oftentimes shows that don't have ratings will say that, but it's the truth. What matters is, do you deliver return on investment for your clients? Mm-hmm. And if you don't, you can have the biggest ratings in the world, and the advertiser's not going to keep buying. I think you could probably speak firsthand to some of that.
Absolutely.
In your buying.
Yeah.
So make sure, if you love the show, you give our sponsor a chance. Now, if the sponsor doesn't take care of you and you weren't happy, I'm not asking you to just keep throwing good money after bad or bad money after good. Or whatever.
I will say, just from the advertiser's perspective, if you're going to invest in marketing, you typically have things buttoned up so that you can execute on a high level if you do get that opportunity. Because if all of a sudden, like, let's just say I was understaffed overnight for whatever reason, I'm probably going to freeze marketing because I don't want to spend those marketing dollars when I'm not going to be able to execute on a high level when those people reach out, right? So everybody that's taking that time to, or the means to advertise on a show, they're probably ready to execute at a high level.
You're right.
It's probably tough for the small businessman to convince himself, I need to spend all these dollars advertising. Mm-hmm. And is it even going to work? And does it really affect my business? But it can in a huge way.
I had been a listener for so many years, and I heard a lot of the same sponsors on the show So that led me to believe, something's working here. And then I reached out to Ryan Kelly, and he was so gracious to take my
that's the
call.
other thing. There's an ecosystem of advertisers who will tell, and now you're one of those guys, but you initially were asking.
Absolutely.
I remember Mark Hanna, I said, call whoever you want.
Sure.
It doesn't matter because I know what they're going to say. That's why I'm like, I know here at Hubbard, it's more often the minimum 6-month deals or annual deals, but I'm like, back when it was at 920, I'm like, I remember saying this to DraftKings. Do a month trial. I know what's going to happen. So it's nice to be able to do that because you know that it will deliver for advertisers. That's such an important thing. So when I was buying advertising for Sound Story in the fourth quarter last year for the holiday buy, I knew which shows were the shows that were going to deliver. And so, that was my own money, and went and spent that. And so now, as we were, for the record, I guess I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but we're in the process of finalizing our first capital raise, first round of funding, and we just hired our general manager for Sound Story. Thank you so much. Joe Buck is involved. Mark Mantovani is involved. So we're taking this thing beyond St. Louis, and it's an exciting thing. But now I need to go find the TMAs, the Riz shows in the other markets and find those people. And they're not tough to find. You can, but then they have to also not just be shows with followings. They have to mobilize the audience. Following is one thing. The mobilization of the audience is what delivers the return on investment.
Absolutely.
And that's the key thing. But that's a credit to our audience, but we've also had great sponsors. If we had crap sponsors, I wouldn't want to be going, I wouldn't be saying, hey, I know this guy, he's a great guy, while internally I'd be like, oh my God, this guy's an MFer and he's going to screw our audience over,
I get it.
Good question. James Carlton just came in here.
I'm sure I bored the audience to tears at this point.
We have people who've...
you can tell that the sponsorships here work because the sponsors are so nice to us. If they thought they spent their money poorly and didn't get a return, they wouldn't be as nice to us as they are because they just bend over backwards to take care of us.
Absolutely.
Now this is interesting here, Doug. Stephen Wildwood has sponsored before, and but he sponsored the Chris Nagel video. And he said, James,
that's right.
If you sponsor a video, expect the return after the video is released 6 months later. I call it delayed marketing.
Well,
it's very effective.
We stubbed our toe on that one. That wasn't us. That was out of our hands. The video, we kind of lost control of that.
All right, James, thank you so much for
my pleasure. You gentlemen have a great week. I'll see you in a few weeks.
The testimonial.
All right, thanks,
this guy came in and just delivered a testimonial.
Really?
Totally unscripted, too.
Yeah,
God bless the great James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. And, man, I was a big fan before, and I'm a bigger fan. But, that insurance agency and his staff, 319 5-star reviews. Yeah. And that is not an accident. Plowhawk's a client, I'm a client, and we recommend you become a client as well. It is James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. And we're making reference to some of our other sponsors, such as Seth Gold, Camp with Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com. Doug is a client. I am a client. So it was nice to return home. And my parents, I don't know what the deal with it is. This is the way, my dad, back with we'd turn our lights on, and then he'd complain about it because he didn't want a high electric bill. Mm-hmm. And so I'm down at Hilton Head, and they have the place set at 78 degrees.
At Hilton Head?
No way. No way.
I'm just part of me thinks they didn't know how to set the program.
Yeah.
And because I think up until 11 o'clock, it'd be 71, and then all of a sudden, it'd hit at noon, it'd go up to 7. I'd walk by the damn thing, and I'd be like, what are we doing here? So I am grateful to now be back in St. Louis because I can set the...
Whoever controls the thermostat is truly in charge of the house.
I agree with you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I get cold easy. But even during the day in the summer, I have it on 73. When I go to bed at night, I put on 69.
Yeah, it's supposed to be cooler at night.
Yeah, I don't know why I just turn it on. I like to pull my Vera Wang all the way up to my neck.
Why do you have to say Vera Wang?
It was sounds like an auto asphyxiation test.
And also, you're wearing nothing when you go to bed, right?
Yeah, naked.
How
about that Vera Wang?
Our Vera Wang, is that an expensive brand?
It's like bunny fur.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. I had a girlfriend of mine.
Couldn't imagine.
We were laying in there, and she goes, God, this is just like fur. I said, that's my Vera Wang.
And it's expensive?
It was on sale. So
what would a Vera Wang blanket cost?
I don't know. It was on sale.
Couple hundred?
Over 100.
What color is it?
Probably more because it's a king size.
What color is this fur?
It's gray and white.
Gray and white. All right.
Like checks.
Hey, do you wash it often?
Well, not as often as my sheets, but because you're pulling it over you, so it's not.
There's still dead skin cells on there and everything.
Oh, you got a sheet over you.
Talk dirty, Doug.
You think maybe you could bring this Vera Wang blanket in someday
No,
so we could take a look at it?
It's too big. It's a king size.
Oh.
Well, either way, it's Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling and Vera Wang.
Yeah.
DesignairService.com. Deke Dotem saying this: I interned with James at 590 15-ish years ago. He is all class and clearly smart enough not to pursue the radio business. By the way, he's also hot. That's from Deke Dotem.
Oh, Dotem,
Look
come
at that.
on.
James
Dotem.
Carlton is hot.
Dotem was an intern, and James Carlton worked at 590?
I knew that James interned.
I didn't know that.
Pretty much all of our sponsors are male model types.
I agree with you.
If you look at them, you think about it. I mean, they're all look like they just came out of GQ magazine.
Well, there weren't a lot of male models at 590.
I love, and I mean love, when Ken drops a brand name that he thinks makes him not a Hoosier, which is the most Hoosier flex ever. That's from Arbor Day. Doug Stephen Wild would like to talk about his delayed advertising strategy.
He's still mad about it. Gosh. He wants to make good. Yes, Steve. Yes, what is it?
Very effective. I'm just starting to see returns from that video.
Are you?
It's coming through. Oh yeah, my sales are way up from before the video till now.
Really?
Look at that, Doug.
No, not at all.
Oh, God bless America.
Actually, the show is effective. Like, people know that I'm the appraiser, so that I'm the appraiser of record for the show, right?
Yeah, you just look at a couple of comps and come up with a figure halfway in between, and there you go. Let's break for lunch.
Here you go, buddy.
Have you ever paid for
Doug,
spots, or just
if you don't stop
talk about it?
saying that type of stuff, I'm gonna look up your house on county records and figure out exactly where you live. All right, buddy?
Oh, well, I'll tell you where I live. It's not a secret.
Barnhof.
Yeah,
Barnhof, right?
If you can get through security at the front gate, you can come in.
I'll tell you what, I need to go back to a couple weeks ago when Morgan Whalen came in town.
Wallen!
I didn't know who the hell the guy was when the tickets first went on sale. I had no clue who he was. I mean, this guy, he had so much talent down here near the stadium. I was amazed.
Not his talent, but the women who came to watch. Is that what you're saying?
Women who came to see him, like, he's a panty dropper guy, I guess. I don't know. But, like, these people were here at, like, 6 in the morning, to get the general admission pit tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And so the line, it was like they were giving out bobblehead of Stan Musial, one of a kind something. I mean, it was crazy. I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah, when I've been at those concerts, the people watching is almost a better show than the show itself. It's at least it's as good.
We'd post up at 3:00 at the hotel at the bar there and just watch everybody.
Did you?
And there was one hot chick after another. I mean, it was crazy.
Well, so you're
racks on these gals.
Yeah,
I think whatever we're putting in this meat, the hormones, keep doing it because these breasts are getting bigger and bigger.
Oh,
yeah, those pit tickets for the big stars, they get there early because they want to be as close as possible, and then maybe they're going to get on stage. Maybe he'll pull them on stage. They'll throw panties up there. Somebody threw a boot at him, hit him in the head.
Yeah, I mean it was crazy. It was fun though. That was a fun weekend. We had like the Yankees in town. Then 4th of July, and then that. I was exhausted after that week. It was nuts.
So you still like living there at Ballpark Village?
Oh, yeah, Dougie. It's not bad.
Well, I thought you were going to move out. I thought you had plans to leave.
Yeah, St. Louis Hills, baby.
We reconsidered.
Oh, wow.
So we're staying here
for
a couple more years.
You've still never had the whole show up there to do a presentation someday.
Doug, I invited you several times, and you won't come up here, I guess. Posey came up.
Yeah. That was fun. It's a good spot.
Yeah.
I would easily watch a Cardinal game up there as opposed to hand my money to Mosaic.
Oh, gosh.
Were you up there for our TMA day?
Yeah.
You were invited, Iggy. Why you didn't come up?
No, there were too many people up there.
What? Oh,
Too many. They would all want. They would all want pictures and autographs.
Your ex-girlfriend was up here. That's what it was.
Is there some sort of secret entrance you could whisk him
too
up
many
there?
people up there.
Your ex-girlfriend, Anna Cardente?
No, Doug. You just call me up, Doug. Anytime you come down, bring your kids or whatever. I don't care. I like that John Vaughn.
John Vaughn's a delight.
Okay.
Plus, now you got your daughter-in-law can drive you all because she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, this is true. How do you know all this information?
I know you like to do.
How do you know all this information?
What?
John puts it on Facebook.
Oh, he does?
It's not like I'm breaking news here. I mean,
No, but
Did you know he was pregnant?
He's not, but she is.
Now that would be a shocker.
They always say that the husband. They say, "Are you pregnant?"
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah,
saying.
I guess.
That always works out well when you answer, yes, I'm pregnant.
Mhm.
And women love that. Women love when you talk about how pregnancy is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. I'll get up there someday.
And then, I just got a text from the recovering alcoholic. He said to tell the boys how you milked me after church.
Oh, gosh. You know, I'm going to suspend him a secondhand suspension.
I like it.
Recovering alcoholic, secondhand suspension, a period of 2 days.
Steve, I'm back on 101 for the first time in 2 weeks today. It'd be wonderful to have a mic drop to go to.
Oh, man. I tell you what, we partied a lot the last week, and I took an edible at like 9 o'clock last night, and I am real foggy right now. But I'll try.
What is there to be unhappy about, Doug? The Cardinals have won 4 or 5.
Right, this team's coming.
Nice.
Good time to trade Jack
Flaherty's
Flaherty.
a good target.
Yeah.
Trade his ass now.
Okay.
I mean, he can't get any higher level now. He's not going to re-sign with us because he hates St. Louis. Supposedly, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that. Something in that realm.
Blame Derek Gould for that.
Just so Vladdy doesn't edit me. You know, that was
Jackson, you're editing Steve's?
One of them. You're one of them.
Yeah, and I would do it again.
I would like to say what I said. And
I don't remember what you said. I do remember an edit.
I do, and it would have gotten us in
What I
trouble.
said-
So why would I
it was-
get in trouble for work? Like, what sense does that make?
You could probably say it on this show. It was during the Contreras thing, and I said, what the hell's going on in this world? Men are women, women are men, and catchers are outfielders. I thought it was pretty funny.
That would have got us in trouble?
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
Why would that get us in trouble?
Well, you'd have somebody complain.
It's just why enter risk when you don't have to.
I guess I just don't see the risk.
But I'm trying to endear myself to my people over there at 101, and stuff like that would endear me.
That is correct. That's why I thought Plowhawk would have been a god had he appeared on Balloon Party. Don't you think they would have loved Plowhawk on Balloon Party while I was vacationing in the Hamptons?
A lot of what he says.
Right.
I don't know if they would like him because they know he's from this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know, though. There's a real lack of awareness of this program on 101 ESPN, which totally makes sense, by the way. I mean, it's on HD2. It's not like we're easy to find.
No, you got to work it. You got to work it.
That's why my television career comes up so often on that show, because a lot of those people who could be a little older, that's what they may know me from, albeit it was nearly 2 decades ago. You know, it's like, what are you doing with your career? You're doing a 1-hour show. And I'm like, yes, this is what I do. I come in for an hour.
Right, you got to improve your brand.
I'm fine. But Plowhawk would have been a god. Plowhawk coming in with the Mazalek takes. I mean, holy crap.
Been fun.
As long as they don't know who he is, I think that would do him well.
Yeah.
You know.
Doug, guilty by association with the show.
So. Sure he is. Yeah.
This is more constructive criticism, not even criticism at all. The thing about replays of old shows, Bowsy, it doesn't have to be evergreen because there's so many little intricacies in each conversation that are interesting, like what you guys talked about and how things came about. Because like a lot of times it'd be nice to find out like how certain things came about, you know, like ongoing themes on the show. You know,
I get it, but like this is the problem with picking, and you're never going to make anybody happy. So this is your opinion, which I almost agree with you. But if I did that, just wait for look how lazy this guy is. He doesn't even listen to the shows he's putting on there. They just talked about the Cardinal from 3 years ago. So, in the end, most of them suck. So, the listeners, not the great content that I put on for you guys for the weekends. But I just don't think he could win. So, this is just, until the skeleton changes, which, again, is not up to me, I just think Roe ain't going to hear complaints one way or the other.
I'd agree with you.
People really do hate their lives.
Oh,
they take a lot out of it on this show.
I would like to know who, like out of all these people who do this, I mean, complain. Larry Thornton, sometimes I like what he says. I don't think he's, over the top critical. I think he points out good things. But I don't know him, but I don't know. I think some of these people just want to get a rise out of you, so they like to make you feel bad or try to make What's that?
Deluxy, that one guy who hit me just at a bad time.
that was pretty rough. I think you were a little out of line with that.
Well, you take your hits and you move on. You got to triple down on the take, Steve, regardless.
Yeah, and I like the fan page, but I mean, just because I like seeing everything, some of the stuff's annoying, but I just scroll right by it. I put a picture of the fan page on the fan page this weekend of Biff and Cletus at our building.
I did see that one.
Where were they? Adobe.
They're trying to put some glass over the edge of the pool so that Tom doesn't have to refund everybody's meal when water splashes down in their food. At Salt and Smoke.
Give me that.
Because something with the wind kicks it up, and the brine from the pool.
Okay, don't say brine.
Lands in their food.
I pay extra for that.
Let's not say brine.
You haven't having a big boy in there at the edge of the pool and just go, give me a little splash.
So one day, when it was really windy, I was standing on the corner of Clark and Walnut to go down and get my bobblehead or whatever, and the water was splashing all the way. The security guard standing at Clark and Walnut, or Clark and whatever that is, Broadway there, and it was like 100 feet from Salt and Smoke, and there was water hitting everybody. It was crazy. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about, I was with. When I was, this is ADD, baby.
Yeah, that's all right.
I was with my wife. We were down at Billy's on Broadway, the new place. They advertise on 101. But they just opened right near Dobbs there and Broadway Oyster Bar.
Yeah.
We were sitting there having some pops, and some guy with a backwards hat walked in. Gangster Pete.
Gangster Pete.
Yeah, he was actually very kind. I think he does get a little nervous when when I said his name, he's like, "Oh God, what's this going to be?"
Oh, well, he's got a wet jumper.
He does have a wet jumper, and I don't know why he places that hat in that manner backwards. Because he's not a bad-looking guy, but then he puts the hat on backwards, perched on the top of his head. And I don't know. It annoys me, but I told him it does, but he doesn't really care, so he does it again. But they actually got the giveaway of the soccer jersey and the theme ticket. They bought the theme ticket and got the hat. Both were cool.
That's a win for Gangster Pete.
It sure is. Yeah, he's been
I care
a winner
about the
for
team
a long
when you
time.
can get a 4XL jersey and some plastic.
It is they're XL, and actually now that I lost weight, they don't fit me as well as before.
Look at you. What are you down to?
I'm kind of stuck in the 197 to 199 realm. I need to
little
get down
doughy.
to about
Little doughy.
I am, Doug.
Because you're only, 5'2", 3"? How tall? How tall a gentleman are you?
Doug. You're 5'7" and shrinking probably.
Okay.
But no, I've just been fasting and stuff. But I really haven't changed that much. I just eat less.
Yeah.
I don't exercise.
Well, with the job as an appraiser, you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, hoping those comps come in time so that you can just average between the high and the low and come up with a comp and break for lunch.
Okay, Dougie.
You're kind of tired of that.
Thanks for trivializing my existence.
Steve, we got to go. We have another break. We got to close out the 8 o'clock hour, and then Jackson and I are going to head down the hallway, and we'll play your mic drop.
All right, I'll try to do one.
Thank you, Steve. There's Chairman Steve. Larry Thornton has issued a statement. The statement is as follows.
Okay.
Anything I ever say is out of fun and busting balls. I did that job for 17 years. I get it. The best part of this show is everyone busting everyone's balls. Plowsy makes me laugh every day. That's from Larry Thornton. Is that well received?
Yeah. And just because I'm sniping at you doesn't mean I hate you. It just means I think you need to be put in your place. Or a little bit of an explanation.
He needs some discipline?
I don't mind Larry Thornton. He chirps on Twitter. He's very funny. I have no issue. But I did want to respond.
How about this other fellow that got you last week? You have an issue with him? Oh, now what was that?
Dill strap.
My care level. Yeah, dill strap. And my care level for Luke.
You can give your care level at 314-881-TMA5. Engineer Design Facilities. Text inbox. Moving forward is the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facilities service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at theedfgroup.com. And Andrea's... I got to have the barbecue sauce yesterday for the first time in a while. Even though we had it down there in Hilton Head, I didn't have it while we were there. And I had it on my delicious chicken yesterday. 2 different times, as a matter of fact. Metabolic Meals chicken for lunch, and then I barbecued Chick-a-Deedle-Dee, Doug. Chick-a-Deedle-Dee. And I put that Andrea's all over it. It's so good. Andrea Steakhouse, Andrea Steak Sauce. I believe I'm barbecuing burgers tonight. And I'll be using the Andrea steak sauce. For the
I use it all the time now, too.
So good. It's just the best. And, of course, their steakhouse, Max, Rebecca, and Andrea's Steakhouse, and Andrea's steak sauce, and Andrea's barbecue sauce. Check it all out. All right, we'll take a commercial break. Come back with our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning.
Credit card debt has hit $1 trillion. And the scary part, that number keeps getting higher by the day. Credit card companies work closely with retailers, setting traps to keep you further in debt. And unfortunately, most folks' pay isn't keeping up with inflation. Good news for homeowners, home values are still way up, and you probably have access to a lot more cash than you think. Stop making those greedy credit card companies rich and apply online today for a cash out refinance at thehomeloanexpert.com. NMLS number 1326241.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm here with a great sponsor on TMA, and that is the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. But here is the thing. You hear injury law and you go, okay, well, that's all they do. But that is not necessarily the case.
Yeah, Tim, we also do workers' compensation cases, and those are obviously cases that comes from someone getting hurt while at work. But these cases are actually kind of tricky because workers' compensation cases are governed by their own set of laws, and they can be difficult to navigate. There's a lot of things people don't know. For instance, all your medical treatment has to be provided by your employer, and there's 2 different kinds of payments you need to be concerned about in a work comp case. One type is just getting paid for the time that you can't work, and the other is a settlement for the permanent injury that you have, which factors in various elements of your case, such as what body part and how severe it is. And this is where you need a knowledgeable work comp attorney to help you maximize your settlement. The insurance companies don't negotiate fair in these cases, and don't settle for less if you're hurt at work. Visit our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Engineer Design Facilities is moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facilities service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at theedfgroup.com.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at tmastl.com.
Okay.
Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229. Or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at tmastl.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
Well, let's put our golf where our mouths are.
Now,
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, James K. Polk, Zachary Taylor. Billy Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, James Buchanan, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Johnson, Ulysses S. Grant, Rutherford B. Haynes, James Garfield, Chester Arthur, Grover Cleveland, Benjamin Harrison.
Nice. Some days this song really tickles my fancy more than others, and today's one of those days.
It's a history lesson, is what it is.
Teddy Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Woodrow Wilson, Warren G. Harding, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, FDR, Harry S. Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, JFK, Lyndon B. Johnson, Nixon, Gerald R. Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama.
Gonna have to update it. There's been 2 more.
Yeah, we've got 2 more to speak of. Welcome back, Ryan Kelly Morning After. Michelob Ultra Studios is where you're going to find us. And Michelob Ultra, of course, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates, sponsor of the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship. And we have a trophy. I don't know if it's visible on the Plowhawks camera on YouTube. Is it? This was just brought in by listener Curtis Hall.
It's bigger than the Wanamaker trophy.
My God.
I can't get it on camera.
It's a monster for either Guy, Dogtown Ty, Kevin Roth, or Todd Callahan, Doug.
It's every bit of 3 feet high.
It's taller than me.
With a golfer on top, yeah. I don't know how you'd even get it in the car to take it home with you. You're going to need quite a trophy case at home. You almost have to set that on the floor. It's so large.
Would you love to have that in your home someday?
I would, yeah. Right when you walk in the front door. Say, look at me. Please look at me. What does it say? What's the inscription there at the bottom?
What do you got there, Plowley?
What's it say on the...
2023 J. Randolph Jr. Page Club Champion.
Here you go.
Huh, it's appropriate.
What a wonderful trophy. Thank you to Curtis.
And then we got one over here. What is this one?
That's Iggy's Dotem, I believe.
Oh, okay.
A lot of hardware in this studio.
Boy, yeah.
A lot of hardware. Yeah. Iggy just joined us. We have a new trophy for the Jennings.
You like that or no?
Yeah, it's like last year's.
Okay, we were excited about it.
Well, I'm not winning it. I don't care.
No.
I'll break the club off and make it 3 years in a row.
You keep breaking the club? Why?
I didn't do it on purpose, but now it's like a running gag, so I'll just break it off. And
No, don't do that. The person has to come in and get it, or will that be presented to him on the 18th hole?
I'm not going to
green?
Gateway, so...
Well, why would you have to do it anyway?
Why you asked me the question?
I'm just wondering if we've come up with that answer yet.
Well, if somebody wants to take it out there, it won't be me, but if somebody wants to take it out there...
Oh. What if it was Tim about to win it? Would you go out there?
That?
Yeah, then I'd probably go out.
Sure you would.
Actually, if Guy plays Callahan, I may go out and watch some of that match.
Oh, really?
Yeah, then I'll bring the trophy with me.
I'll be curious if they decide to go all in. You know what I mean? Like,
no, they'll chop.
You think they're going to chop?
Yeah.
God, that'd be great.
Not half and half, but they'll chop.
That'll be great entertainment. Hey, you can take your money that you win in the Fan Page Club Championship and go to Ted Drew's. I got to get some Ted Drew's. I got to get that City Red. I love that City Red, the new concrete that they have at Ted Drew's this year. Named after the Dowgies, and what it is, Doug, is the following. Ted's delicious vanilla custard blended with maraschino cherries, coconut flakes, and Dad's Scotch oatmeal cookie.
Oh, that
served
sounds
as
good.
concrete or a... Now, I say Sunday, but I've been told that's incorrect.
You should. No,
Yeah,
that's
Sunday.
correct. It's Sunday.
No, it's not a day of the week, it's a Sunday.
It isn't a Sunday. It isn't. And nor is it vitamin D. It's a Sunday, and it's vitamin D.
It's vitamin D.
It isn't vitamin.
Sunday. And
Why is D the only vitamin that's pronounced vitamin?
Nice question.
That's what I want to do. I want to get a Sunday, take some nice vitamin D, and then...
There, you said it right that time.
Nice job.
Be a perfect day in San Luis.
For vacation. Both Ted Drew's locations are open. Chippewa, historic Route 66 in South Grand. Make Ted Drew's part of your summer tradition and visit often for delicious frozen custard. Ted Drew's, it really is good, guys and gals.
There isn't much that makes you happier than, we're on our way to Ted Drew's.
Yeah, it's nice.
We're in line at Ted Drew's. This is going to be great. Oh, there's somebody I know because there's 500 people here because it's so great.
That's the only problem I have with it. I get there and I have to take pictures and sign and just...
Oh, cut it out.
It's the whole thing with that many people there.
Will this trophy have to be picked up by the winner from a Section 8 breezeway while also evading meat thieves and the table-smashing juvenile delinquents of Maryland Heights? That's from Carlos Spicer.
Probably. Unless you want to come by the station. I'll leave it here. You come by the station and pick it up.
You still having trouble with meat thieves?
No, just that one time.
Meat bandits.
The meat bandits.
No, I've had trouble with
T-shirt.
people breaking my patio tables, and somebody stole my bowling ball for Gobble Bowl.
Oh. Never got that back either, did you?
No. They called me and said, well, he said he dropped it off. I said, well, I know he said he dropped it off. But did he drop it off at the right apartment?
Yeah, that's a question.
Morn. I'll have a concrete with a lemon, blueberry, and graham cracker. Thanks. That comes from Dad.
Well, go get it.
Yeah.
One
I'll
from
make it for
PP
you.
Corp is identifying himself as Dad now.
Oh.
They have a kid?
I don't know. I just read what's in the prompter.
I didn't even know he's married.
Well, he was getting married last time we saw him, remember? Lisa Ann had to scold him. Not for getting married, but for him trying
that's right.
to teach her a little business.
Breaking news from Katie Woo, Doug.
Woo, woo, woo. Katie Woo.
The Cardinals are designating left-handed reliever Jesus Cabrera for assignment. Cabrera has been with the team since 2019. A surprising move given his presumed trade interest, though he can still be traded within 7 days of being DFA'd.
Huh. That's got to be a disappointment because when he came up, I thought, wow, this guy is going to be good. He throws close to 100 miles an hour.
Again, we can't develop players. We can get them to the major, but we can't make them any better.
What's his ERA? It's got to be over 5.
I don't know.
He gives up a run every time he's in the game.
Speaking of developing players, specifically pitchers, did anybody catch Matthew Liberatore's line yesterday?
No.
Can't wait to hear that.
Doug, would you like to take a guess? You like guessing games.
He didn't play against those rugged Omaha Royals, did he? I'll say he went 3 innings and gave up 8 hits and 6 runs.
Plow, could you like to fire a bullet at the pot, try to take this thing down?
1 2/3, 9 hits, 7 earned.
Well, you guys are right in between each other. 2 1/3, and allowed 3 hits and 3 earned runs. So that's not...
3 hits is not bad. Why'd they take him out after 2?
7 walks.
Oh, yeah, that's the impression I get when he pitches. He has no idea where it's going.
Yeah.
He really does.
Is that a problem?
It's a big problem. Hicks was that way for the first part of his career. He'd throw it 100 miles an hour and had no clue where it was going to go.
I almost am afraid what they're going to do to Walker. Almost afraid, because Carlson is he even a serviceable Major League Baseball player right now? And he was untradeable 8 months ago. And his rookie year, he showed signs and showed promise. Tyler Moreno came in here, showed signs and promise. They just can't get guys to that next level. They can't take...
Pez, by the way, who was, I know it sounds past tense, but remember, he was considered an up-and-comer for sure. He's hitting a $197 down at Memphis. Mason Wynn is on a heater here as of late, that's for sure. And I don't know what they're going to wind up doing.
As soon as they trade Edman and DeYoung, he'll be up.
I'm legitimately intrigued by what's going to happen over the next, 2-ish weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks.
I wish they would go ahead and make the moves for Flaherty and Montgomery. Well, I guess you can't trade Montgomery until he's back healthy, but Flaherty...
He's scheduled to start tomorrow. Michaelis tonight.
Oh, good. Flaherty has looked so good recently that you would think his value is pretty high right now.
Couldn't agree with you more. And it's like he's got 3 straight, 2 really good starts. Yesterday was rock solid too, but the 2 before that, I believe, were scoreless outings. And that wouldn't surprise me if you see that one happen before his next start.
And don't you just know he's going to get traded to the Dodgers or the Yankees and win the Cy Young Award next year with them? You can see it coming, can't you?
I can't figure him out. I thought he was just done because of that shoulder thing, and he has had outings where he's looked great. I mean, he's had some bad ones too, but...
They had the stat yesterday. They were saying if you take, and I know this is what if, but if you take away his 3 worst starts where he just blew up completely and couldn't get through like an inning, take away those 3, on all his other starts, which is numbers close to probably 20 at this point, his ERA is in the 2s.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I thought I saw on Twitter where today's a bullpen game for the Cardinals.
Every night feels like a bullpen game, bro. This team sucks.
They've only had 3 games since the All-Star break. You'd think they'd have a starter ready to go.
Well, Michaelis
They had
pitched.
the Friday night suspended game.
Yeah, he won a couple innings.
I thought Michaelis was starting tonight.
Didn't he just pitch?
He is. It's because the Friday game, he only got a couple innings in.
But didn't he go back in and pitch again?
No.
Like 2 days later? A couple innings?
No.
Well, I just saw it was either Katie Weir or Denton said tonight against the Marlins is a bullpen game.
Doug Bob Weir, Grateful Dead.
Bob Weir said this?
It said John Denton or Katie Wu.
Woo, woo, woo. Kenny Woo.
I'll go back and look at John Denton's tweet.
I see a tweet from Denton saying Miles Michaelis will start Monday for the Cardinals.
Well, I'll go back and look again.
Well,
it was a tweet from
he
last
can't
week.
pitch every night.
I looked at the box score and I thought he pitched again.
Maybe he got some work in a company softball game.
Well, it could have been a day to get some work in and just bullpen session. Just decided to start him.
No, in that team, they're just going to win just enough games to act like you're in it, but you're not. Avoid trading a bunch of people, miss the playoffs.
The shame of it is, well, for those of us who have bet on them to win the Central, and now they're plus 2,500 for the record. I threw another 100 on them at plus 2,000, so I'm starting to get a little pot committed. But anyway, they really should have won 5 in a row. They pissed that one away on Saturday, throwing up all over the damn place.
Well, the problem now is that Milwaukee's pitchers have really hit a groove.
Yes.
They had like 3 shutouts in a row there.
Brewers have won 4 in a row.
Yeah, they're not just 11.5 behind Milwaukee. They're also 9.5 behind the Reds. So you got to catch 2 teams, not
and you're
just
not,
one.
And you're not really playing them all that much because of the new schedule. So you got that going on.
Yeah.
So, Doug, I'm not sure I'm going to win my bets.
No. Well, for Mozeliak to actually come out and say we're going to trade people, that's about as much of an admission as we're cashing in for this year as you can possibly hear.
So you know where he said that, right?
And he said, "Tell that to Martin."
Yes, exactly. But if you listen to it, it wasn't said like the context of what was said around it wasn't as powerful as the way it started to kind of pick up traction on social media. I felt it was kind of we're going to trade people. We just have to decide if we're going to trade. It wasn't we're going to trade people. Business is open for sale, and I felt like that's how it started to kind of travel around social media, because saying we're going to trade people gets attention. But if you listen to it, it's a rather pedestrian soundbite.
Yeah.
Do you follow me? I don't know if anybody remembers that exchange. I mean, I thought it was a great interview. Martin did a great job. He asked every question that people wanted to hear an answer to.
He can't possibly, be Mozeliak, he can't really think that it's going to happen this year. With the inconsistency of the bullpen, the starters, 11.5 back, he's got to be realistic to know that they're not going to win 15 in a row. Even if they did, they wouldn't be in first place. He's got to know that it's not going to happen.
I would imagine, considering the set of circumstances that you have with some specific pitchers who you most likely aren't going to resign anyway, that it kind of puts you in the spot that the Blues were in. Albeit, I think most people would agree that what the Blues were trading away weren't necessarily the level. Perception-wise, who knows what Jack Flaherty will be, but, with an O'Reilly, a Conn Smythe winner, and Tarasenko.
I think I'm going to miss Darren Pang more than O'Reilly and Tarasenko and all the guys they traded. I think I am.
Took our chance away from beating him and patting him down.
I mean, they'll get somebody else who's terrific, I'm sure, but he was really terrific.
I agree with you on that, man. I agree with you big time on that. Jackson, do we have any business we need to tend to?
Yeah, Doug and I need to talk about the fine folks over at St. Louis Hair Restoration.
Wow.
Got this looking real good. I can really.
Crap! It's 9:55. I'm sorry.
All good. I'm starting to feel like I'm making some moves here.
Oh, wow!
You can see some progress already.
Big weekend at Wheelhouse, huh?
Yes. I just feel it in the back of my head where I used to be a little bit thinner.
Ew.
I'm starting to feel just a little something. It could be. But if you keep going like this, maybe see something happen. They have
none of us can see what you're doing.
Right, but regardless,
but you're painting a picture with your words.
Trying to theater of the mind, and I really feel like what they're doing over there at St. Louis Hair Restoration is really helping me. You should go get a consultation from them because they're so knowledgeable. They got Doug on the FUE.
Yeah, that's what I had done. The FUE, the follicular unit extraction. I'm on day 19 now, and here's what the front of it looks like on YouTube. You can see all that hair coming in. Now, some of the follicles, they fall out in the early going, but that's normal.
Yeah.
They come back in.
That's the deal.
And you're gonna want to wear a baseball hat for, a couple weeks after till it comes back in. But again, as I said at the outset, for me there was zero pain. If you're concerned about that, there was no pain involved. Anesthesia is a wonderful thing, and they've got all kinds of different solutions. People have different situations, different ages, different problems with their hairline or the bald spot in the back, and they've got you covered. Whatever you want done, they can do that. They've got all kinds of different options. They'll go over with that with you when you go in for your first consultation with Dr. Palinga and the founder, Greg Kryling. Fantastic people, and they do a terrific job. Their technicians have been there for many, many years. They've done many, many transplants. They know what they're doing. Dr. Perling has done some big-name people down in Nashville, he said. And hopefully we'll keep an eye on and see how I do with this transplant. But I think, and they tell me that I'll look like Fabio when it's done.
There it is, St. Louis Hair Restoration. Time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day! Would it be cute if I kissed him between the hips?
Oh, that's the first one. Jackson.
in that erogenous brown valley that lay between his boy satchel and his waistgate.
Don't say wastegate.
It makes me think. It makes me secrete lust directly into my depends. Thanks, that's from Doty's Grip Pressure?
Deke Dotem. That's who that was from, wasn't it? Deke Dotem. And he's been suspended indefinitely.
And young, Doug is a highway, and I want to ride him all night long. Gimme, 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 yeah. Thanks, number one Asian intern Brian Henshin, a.k.a. SMR Taylor. Hey, here's a fun fact. On the weekends, me and fellow listeners of the month, Beer Cats, Swope, Natty Nate, and the Pegged One swing by Hubbard headquarters and roleplay TMA. We rotate the role of Tim because that's too much power for one man to wield.
Oh.
But gosh, it's quite arousing when it's your turn to perch on those phone books Mr. Tim keeps around to reach the microphone. Thanks for making it this far. Be sure to subscribe. Click, click, tick, tick. Snip, snip, flip, flip. Buy my painting. Swoosh, bitches.
Oh. Brian Henshin.
Plowsy, quote, accidentally drains his battery and pulls a no-show the following Monday. Then says all the listeners are losers. But you know who showed up this Monday after 2 flights canceled in 2 weeks? Because he's just built differently? A lot of people don't know, but my family was part of the first foreign exchange student program. His name was Pedro, and he was ruggedly handsome. What am I reading?
I don't know. It kind of veered off. I was waiting for it to hit the gong.
Kind of a cute story. Uncle Skip's drinking buddy Tony was over, so we all started playing beer pong. We all got hammered, drunk. All of a sudden, Pedro whips out this massive dong. So big, we were all afraid of it. All of us but Tony. Then they went to the bathroom. First 5 minutes, Tony was screaming in pain. After a while, it was quite...
What kind of writing is that? Don't just hit send. Proofread it.
Too quite. So I peeked in. Tony had passed out from the pain, and Pedro was still going to town with the anal.
Oh.
I yelled, he's had enough. Tony smiled, and as he walked out, he said, adios, muchachos. Later, we found out he was actually 34 years old. That's from Asda Mao. And then the last name is The. I didn't know that was the last name.
Asda Mao. The.
How do you follow the most entertainment-filled weekend St. Louis has seen since October of '99, when our Missouri River Otters torched the Asheville Smoke? In a 6-2 win in front of a sellout attendance at the Family Arena, I'll tell you how. Take you a little stroll up to Lambert, park your whip in commuter lot B, which is conveniently located only 4.5 miles from the main terminal with 3 shuttles out of commission, and then have yourself a seat on any one of the 2 cement benches outside of the arrivals pickup area and just wait and watch. There you will find yourself engulfed in cheap cigarette smoke and the pleasant sounds of a rent-a-cop blowing a whistle and hurling obscenities at tax-paying citizens simply because they have the nerve to put the car in park for a full 10 seconds while their loved one hurriedly flings a suitcase into the back seat, slides across the hood, and dives through the passenger side window like a scene from Dukes of Hazzard. Welcome, St. Louis. Now get your ass in the car and get the hell out of here in 7 seconds, or I'm going to blow out your eardrum with this emergency whistle. And it's on that bench you'll find real salt-of-the-earth people anxiously waiting for their loved ones who didn't respect them enough to arrive on time. So there they sit long after everyone with family members who love them have been collected, like kids waiting for a ride home after school with parents who are a huge question mark. She's probably stuck in traffic, they mumble with little conviction as they fend off the glare of some volunteer parent who has to wait with them until some other one than a predator offers them a ride. Your move, Kansas City. Good luck posting a lower score than that. Thanks. I'm new here. Do I submit my PTO to KG Town or to one of the other new part-time employees? Doug, that's what we have for the designer.
What was the guy's name? What was the guy's name? I'll vote for the last one.
I'm new here. Do I submit my PTO to KG Town?
I'm new here. Gets my vote.
Kevin Miller.
I'm going to go with I'm new here. Congratulations, I'm new here. We got to go. Jackson and I were already in balloon party. Bye.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast featuring long-form interviews.